Chapter 109. This woman really has a vicious heart. She's so beautiful, but her heart is like a snake and scorpion. He's my dog. I'm disciplining my own dog, what do you have to do with it? With that, Lu Xinnan made Guan Wenbao kneel down, and then stepped on the back of Guan Wenbao's head with her beautiful leather boots. See? He's willing to be my dog. I can beat my own dog however I want. Another whip lashed on Guan Wenbao's back, making him bleed. You! This is too much. Li Fan is about to explode. This woman, how could she be born with such a black heart? Too much. I'll ask him for you. Lu Xinnan put down her foot and hooked Guan Wenbao's chin with her hand. Do you think I'm too much? Not at all. Miss is right. Guan Wenbao's lips are full of blood. He murmured, it's my fault, I shouldn't have disobeyed Mrs. order. You see, he thinks he's right, why are you meddling in other people's business? Lu Xinnan's eyes are full of provocation. Li Fan sneered 3 times, fine, 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 now it's just me who's in a bad mood. Today, I must spank your butt. He. Lu Xinnan covered her mouth and chuckled, death is imminent, but you're still so perverted. Every year, I don't know how many hotheads like you die. Let's see who's going to die today. Li Fan is already angry, today, young master will take care of this matter. Chop him. Lu Xinnan waved her hand, this kind of person is an eyesore. A person like you, when you die, will stink. As soon as Miss gives the order, the surrounding professional thugs immediately carry their 7 whole knives and run toward Li Fan. Su Chen sighs and can only take 2 steps back. When the gods fight, he can only hide. Dear strike. Li Fan took a deep breath and felt power flowing into his legs. For a buck, apart from the horns on its head, its long legs were also its most powerful weapons. At this moment, all of Li Fan's martial arts had fused into his legs. His hands were like antlers. A hatchet man had already rushed in front of Li Fan, the 7-hole knife stabbing toward Li Fan's lower abdomen. Li Fan grabbed the thug's arm with both of his hands. It was as if he was using antlers to clamp the thug's arm. The thug's arm could not move at all. At the same time, Li Fan grabbed the thug's arm and pulled him forward. His knee followed and hit the thug's chest. Pooh! The thug spat out a mouthful of acid and knelt on the ground, unable to get up for a long time. Another hatchet man followed up, and the 7-hole knife slashed at Li Fan's head. Li Fan raised both of his hands and grabbed the thug's arm again. Then he pulled down, pressing down on the thug's body, and lowered his head. At the same time, Li Fan's right leg kicked the thug's face like a scorpion's tail, knocking him out. Li Fan used his hands to support himself on the ground, turned his body upside down, and spread his legs apart. His arms carried the strength from his waist, and his legs created a whirlwind, immediately kicking the 3 surrounding thugs away. Huh! Lu Xinnan seemed a little surprised, and her beautiful eyes widened. Li Fan followed with a forward roll and stood up again. His legs rotated, and 2 whipping kicks were sent out, kicking 2 more thugs to the ground. In just one move, Li Fan had already sent out 7 thugs. The remaining thugs did not dare to rush forward. They surrounded Li Fan and kept circling around, looking for an opportunity to attack. No wonder you're so arrogant, so you're a martial artist. Lu Xinnan said, and suddenly picked up a delicate crossbow from the table beside her, and shot a bolt at Li Fan. But who was Li Fan? He suddenly kicked the 7-hole knife on the ground. The 7-hole knife spun and flew out, splitting Lu Xinnan's bolt in half. The 7-hole knife continued to spin, and Guan Wenbao suddenly stood up, pulled out a beautiful Mongolian knife from Lu Xinnan's waist, and slashed at the spinning knife. Dang! Golden sparks appeared, and Lu Xinnan's crisis was resolved. Li Fan slightly frowned, and Lu Xinnan touched her small chest, and then smiled. How is it? This is called a loyal dog protecting its master, did you see it? With that, Lu Xinnan loaded another bolt, and then shot at Guan Wenbao's calf. Puchi. This bolt sank into Guan Wenbao's calf, but Guan Wenbao only frowned, he did not even make a sound. I can't shoot you, but can I shoot him? With that, she took out another bolt. Where should I shoot this time? How's the eye? Go die. Li Fan could not bear it anymore. This woman is a madwoman. He threw a golden marble straight at Lu Xinnan's eye. Guan Wenbao waved the Mongolian knife again, deflecting Li Fan's hidden weapon. Big brother, don't mess around. I'm helping you. Li Fan is helpless. Is this Guan Wenbao crazy? Sir, I'm very sorry. Guan Wenbao cupped his fist at Li Fan, but Miss is indeed my master now. Even if I die, I will protect master's safety. Damn it, you're really stubborn. Hee, what a good dog. Lu Xinnan patted Guan Wenbao's cheek with satisfaction. Not bad, later I'll reward you with 2 more pieces of meat. Enough. Li Fan was furious. Poisonous snake woman, if you have the ability, fight me one-on-one. What kind of ability is bullying Guan Wenbao? This is my ability. Lu Xinnan opened her hands. Everything here is my ability. Who told me to be born with a golden spoon in my mouth? If I want to kill you, I don't even need to do it myself. Guan Wenbao, go kill him. Miss. What, you want to disobey orders again? Lu Xinnan coldly snorted. Don't forget, who helped you redeem the escort agency. Guan Wenbao, your identity is my dog. Don't tell me you want to break the contract. I don't dare. Guan Wenbao lowered his head. I swore, to be Miss Loyal Dog for life. Men, give him a knife. Lu Xinnan gave an order, and a few thugs immediately walked over. 2 of them helped Guan Wenbao put on the armor, while the other handed the Yenyuan knife to Guan Wenbao. Guan Wenbao closed his eyes and took a deep breath. He suddenly waved the knife and cut off the arrow on his calf, then pointed the knife at Li Fan. Sir, please enlighten me. You. Li Fan was in a dilemma. This Guan Wenbao, can't he turn his head around? Stubborn, too stubborn. Please enlighten me. Please enlighten me. Please enlighten me. Guan Wenbao shouted 3 times in a row, then leaped up. With endless aggressiveness, he ruthlessly chopped down at Li Fan's head. Chapter 110. The Guan family's saber technique was indeed domineering. Li Fan stood there and looked up at Guan Wenbao. He felt as if a god of war was standing in front of him and chopping down with his saber. Come at me. Li Fan had no other way. There was only one way to deal with Guan Wenbao. He had to beat him to the ground first. Golden Toad's spitting pearl. Li Fan stretched out his hands and gathered the true qi in his body. Then he gathered it together and shot it towards the top of his head. A white qi pearl blossomed from Li Fan's hands and hit the edge of Guan Wenbao's crescent blade. Li Fan had trained the 7 heroes' force to the 4th stage. The power contained within it was not ordinary. But Guan Wenbao's decisive righteousness was also trained to the point of perfection. It was extraordinary. This saber seemed to have a red glow on it as it collided with Li Fan's qi pearl. Li Fan's sleeves were torn apart by the qi's strength. It was a pity for his suit. Guan Wenbao's saber blade was slightly curled. Finally, it was flicked away, causing Guan Wenbao to take 2 steps back. The qi pearl went straight to the top of their heads and hit the ceiling, breaking the huge crystal chandelier. It fell straight down and smashed towards the 2 of them. If they were ordinary people, they would have been smashed into meat paste. Fortunately, they were 2 martial artists. Guan Wenbao raised his saber and cut the chandelier in half. More fragments flew towards Li Fan. Immortal crane flaps wings. Li Fan's hands kept slapping and sent the fragments flying to the side. There were so many fragments but not a single one could get close to Li Fan's body. Lu Xinnan watched from the side without even blinking. This was a battle between an expert who was on par with Guan Wenbao. This was a duel between martial artists. Guan Wenbao. Li Fan shouted and his chi strength filled his body again. Wake up! Idiot! As he spoke, he leaped up and pounced towards Guan Wenbao. Sir! Please give it your all. Guan Wenbao swung his crescent blade horizontally with a ferocious glint, as if he wanted to split Li Fan into two. However, Li Fan lowered his body and slid along the ground. Black toad crossing water. Guan Wenbao swung his saber in the air, but he was relentless. The blade changed direction and slashed down at Li Fan. However, Li Fan suddenly snapped his fingers and the spirit monkey escaped. His body strangely disappeared in front of Guan Wenbao. When he reappeared, he was a meter away from the ground, and his feet stepped on the back of Guan Wenbao's saber. Bang! Guan Wenbao's crescent blade was stepped into the ground. Following that, Li Fan stepped on the shaft of the crescent blade and charged towards Guan Wenbao. It's his turn. Wake up! Originally, he was going to use the Black Tiger Heart gouging move to grab Guan Wenbao's face. This time, not only could he crush Guan Wenbao's eyes, but he could also pierce through his cheeks. However, when his hand was in front of Guan Wenbao, Li Fan suddenly retracted it and changed to the ape strike spirit monkey jumping up the tree. He moved his body sideways and kicked Guan Wenbao's chest like a cannonball. Thud, thud, thud. Guan Wenbao took 3 steps back and finally stepped on the ground to stabilize his body. Trash. Lu Xinan was very unhappy. Bring his horse out. As soon as he finished speaking, a Fergana horse galloped its iron hooves and charged into the arena. Lisa was very fast. Guan Wenbao jumped and landed on the horse's back. At the same time, he took out a telescopic blade from the saddle with his left hand and a blade with his right hand. He quickly assembled them together and rushed in front of Li Fan with a sweep. Total annihilation. This time, it indeed had the momentum of total annihilation. This time, Li Fan could also see that with the warhorse, Guan Wenbao's martial arts had increased by more than 10%. After all, he was a warhorse family. Li Fan couldn't help but admire him. But now was not the time to admire him. It was a battle. Golden Toad Spitting Pearl. An energy pearl exploded from Li Fan's palm and fiercely slammed it on the ground. Boom! The body of the ship started to shake, and cracks appeared on the ground. The warhorse couldn't stand steadily and staggered. Guan Wenbao's broadsword also lost its balance and did not hit Li Fan. Again. Guan Wenbao had been practicing horsemanship all year round. It could be said that his control of balance on the horse was better than on the ground. Lisa, the warhorse, also had a telepathic connection with him. It raised its front hooves and jumped to the side. At the same time, Guan Wenbao whipped the horse and galloped along the arena, as if looking for the next opportunity to attack. Li Fan was calm. Guan Wenbao's warhorse was running very fast, but in his eyes, it seemed to be slower. He suddenly shot an energy pearl into the distance. This energy pearl drew an arc and smashed on the ground. Boom! The energy immediately exploded, but Guan Wenbao had already pulled the reins and let Lisa jump to the side. So agile. Li Fan could not help but admire this person's horsemanship. Let's see if your horse is faster or my deer is faster. Li Fan's body pressed down, and then his legs kicked fiercely. He actually ran after Guan Wenbao's warhorse. This idiot, is he going to use his own legs to catch up with a Fergana horse? Lu Xinan could not help but laugh, but soon, she could not laugh anymore. Deer scamper. The speed of a wild deer was also amazing. Li Fan's legs stepped on the ground and he ran at high speed. He actually managed to catch up with Guan Wenbao's speed. Your kung fu is indeed amazing. Guan Wenbao could not help but praise, if there's a next life, I really hope to be friends with you. As he said that, he suddenly pulled the reins and the warhorse raised its front hooves high. Then, Guan Wenbao's crescent moon blade slashed sideways. Mad Dragon goes to sea. This slash was Guan Wenbao's ultimate skill. Now that it was executed on the warhorse, it was even more powerful. Flame. In Li Fan's eyes, there seemed to be a flame burning. This was the blade energy of Guan Wenbao's crescent moon blade. It was a flame created by friction with the air. If he did not do anything, Li Fan's body might really be cut in half. Guan Wenbao's eyes were filled with determination. After this battle, he would also end his own life. This way, he would return the favor to Missy. Your Excellency. On the road to hell, I'll accompany you. Guan Wenbao shouted along with the crescent moon blade, but Li Fan's eyes lit up. At that moment, it was as if a giant bear had stood up behind Li Fan. Guan Wenbao was slightly shocked. Li Fan was extremely calm. His body and mind were once again one with his kung fu. Bear strike. Bear. Mount. Army. At this moment, Li Fan's body seemed to have endless strength. He felt like he was a giant bear in armor. Looking at the crescent moon blade, Li Fan directly stretched out his hands and grabbed the shaft of Guan Wenbao's blade. Bang! The blade was less than a centimeter away from Li Fan's waist, but it was forcefully stopped. A strong force spread out in all directions. Chapter 111. The shockwave that Guan Wenbao created was definitely heaven-defying. The surrounding ground was shaken to the point that layers upon layers of cracks appeared. His strength was evident, and it was shocking to the eye. If not for Li Fan comprehending the true meaning of the seven heroes' fist at the last moment, he might have really been defeated. Under the bear cavalry state, Li Fan's physical strength and defense were greatly enhanced. He grabbed Guan Wenbao's crescent blade and lifted both his arms. He actually lifted Guan Wenbao off the horse. Lisa was anxious to protect her master. She immediately turned around, raised her hind hooves and kicked at Li Fan's chest. But Li Fan just stood there and ate Lisa's two sturdy hooves. Bang! Li Fan's body shook slightly, but his true qi wrapped around his body and protected him. It was because Lisa's legs were sore and she almost fell to the ground. Fall! Li Fan swung both of his hands and smashed Guan Wenbao heavily onto the ground again. Guan Wenbao was born with great strength, but this was the first time he lost to someone else in terms of strength. Bang! With a loud sound, Guan Wenbao heavily smashed onto the ground. The armor on his body was broken into pieces and scattered to the side. Useless. Really useless. Lu Xinan was so angry that she stomped her feet. Li Fan couldn't help but sigh. This girl's chest was flat. She didn't even have a sense of beauty. As for Guan Wenbao, he was injured and probably wouldn't be able to get up for a while. Venomous woman, can you fight me one-on-one now? Li Fan crooked his finger at Lu Xinan. But Lu Xinan snorted, you're still far from it. Didn't you just defeat a dog like me? What's so great about that? As she said that, she sized up Li Fan, why don't you be my dog? I can see that you're quite strong and should be able to protect me. Dream on. Li Fan snorted coldly, I don't want to be a dog for a vicious woman. Who's the scorpion lady? I have a name. Lu Xinan pointed at her own nose, remember my name, Lu. Exin. Nan. Scorpion lady, let go of Guan Wenbao. Li Fan berated loudly. Bastard. Don't you understand Chinese? Lu Xinan said angrily, you're so disobedient. You're not even qualified to be a dog. And that Guan Wenbao, trash. You're not fit to be my dog. In that case, why don't the two of you listen to my advice? Su Chen felt that it was time to say a few words. Otherwise, things might get out of hand if they continued. Sure, let's hear what you have to say. For the time being, Lu Xinan also didn't know what to do. This Li Fan indeed had some ability to defeat Guan Wenbao. This time, she didn't bring any experts with her and actually suffered a loss. Boss Su, if you have anything to say, feel free to say it. Li Fan also didn't want to make things difficult for Su Chen. This Guan Wenbao's family was in dire straits. It was eldest Miss who spent money to help Guan Wenbao redeem his family's escort agency. Su Qin said, that's why Guan Wenbao sold himself to eldest Mississippi. Since eldest Miss dislikes him, why don't you redeem Guan Wenbao? Sure, how much? 2 million. Su Qin raised 2 fingers, causing Li Fan to feel slightly embarrassed. That, can you give me a discount? Humph, I won't give you a single cent. Lu Xinnan curled her lips, you poor ghost, if you have the guts, then compensate me at the original price. I only have 1,500,000. Li Fan was indeed short of money. This 1,500,000 was all he had. I didn't expect that a poor ghost like you would have some pocket money. Lu Xinnan curled her lips, sure, then I'll give you a chance. As long as you do one thing for me, I'll give you a discount of 500,000. How about it? Sir. Guan Wenbao slowly climbed up and persuaded Li Fan, no need. No need to do so much for me. Just stay here. Li Fan rolled his eyes, whether I help you or not, it's up to me. That's right. This is an opportunity that this miss is giving you. You must cherish it. Lu Xinnan smiled again, if you help me beat someone up, this miss will deduct 500,000 from you. If I help you beat someone up, I'll deduct the money. Li Fan bargained. You wish. That person isn't worth 2 million. 500,000 is just because this miss is happy, I'm overestimating him. Lu Xinnan rolled her eyes. Are you going to do it or not? Forget it. Fine, I'll do it. For Guan Wenbao, even if it's a dragon's pool or a tiger's den, Li Fan would still rush in. Hee, good, good. Since you've agreed, then I can temporarily lend you Guan Wenbao. Lu Xinnan happily clapped her hands, that 1,500,000, just remember to give it to Su Qin. With that, she suddenly took out a phone from her pocket and threw it to Li Fan. You're still giving me a phone? Dream on. This is your contact number. Lu Xinnan proudly said, when this miss finds you, you must come out immediately and beat someone up for me. I'm not your bodyguard. Humph, of course you're not my bodyguard. You're just this miss pet. Lu Xinnan seemed to have thought of something and was very happy, although it's only a one-time use, it should be of some use. Venomous woman. I'm Lu Xinnan. Venomous woman. Li Fan really did not have a good impression of this woman. What the hell, what kind of upbringing did she have to be able to raise such a vile woman? Remember to keep it on all day, I don't have the patience to wait for someone. With that, Lu Xinnan turned around and left. No matter what, it's good that Miss agreed. Su Qin held out his hand to Li Fan, brother, no discord, no concord. It's fate that brought us together. Li Fan shook hands with him, and at the same time, Su Qin ordered the injured man to be carried away. Old Guan, let me treat your injury. Li Fan and Su Qin exchanged some pleasantries. After all, he had caused a scene here, and the host was not angry, which was already giving him face. Li Fan sat down cross-legged, while Guan Wenbao was still declining. Don't trouble yourself, sir. Cut the crap. Li Fan was a little annoyed. There were a lot of things to do tonight, and he had to beat up Guan Wenbao. Fortunately, Guan Wenbao's beating was not in vain. At least he had temporarily redeemed himself. Boss Su, I'm really sorry to disturb you today. Li Fan still had to be polite to Su Qin, but Su Qin waved his hand. Don't mention it. I'll treat you as my brother from now on. Su Qin wanted to pat Li Fan's shoulder, but he was afraid of being hurt by their internal force, so he hesitated. I've offended you in the past. I'll treat Boss Su to a drink some other day. Brother, you're too polite. It's not the right time to talk, let's talk some other day. You can use this place as you like, and you can come and go as you please in the gambling boat. I'll tell my brothers. Thank you, Su Qin. After Su Qin left, Guan Wenbao suddenly opened his eyes and said to Li Fan, "Sir, don't trust Su Chen too much. He's too shrewd." Chapter 112. At noon the next day, Li Fan had already cleaned up and was ready to leave the hospital. He was really tired after a night of tossing and turning last night. Especially the battle with Guan Wenbao, it could be said that he had consumed a lot of true qi. After a sleep, although he had almost recovered, there was no feeling of fullness, which made Li Fan somewhat uncomfortable. A doctor walked into Li Fan's ward, but Li Fan knew that this guy was not a doctor, but Bai Lin Luo in a white coat. Although Bai Lin Luo was thin, he was not short. When he wore a white coat and a mask, no one could tell that he was a high school student. All of this was a normal procedure. In a while, Bai Lin Luo would personally send Li Fan out of the hospital. His existence was to send Tai Zhu and Murongning away. Only when these two women were not around him, Li Fan would be able to lure out Li Wenjue behind the scenes. This bastard hid like a mouse. If he didn't give him some delicious food, he wouldn't come out at all. And the role played by Huang Lei was also very simple. He was responsible for stocking a cart selling roasted sausages downstairs. The patient still needs to go through some procedures to be discharged. Please go downstairs to help the patient. Ah, haven't we already done it? Tai Zhu was stunned for a moment. There are some follow-up procedures, said Bai Lin Luo expressionlessly. Well, since you said so. Murongning nodded and was about to go downstairs with Tai Zhu to go through the procedures, but a girl suddenly opened the door of the ward and timidly glanced at Li Fan. Ah, you are really here. Lin Yuhsan had a ponytail today and wore a very white dress, which looked very cute and playful. Li Fan's head immediately swelled up. This girl, why did she suddenly run over? I've been looking for you for a long time before I realized that you were in this ward. This was the first time Lin Yuhsan had been to a place like this, so she was a little surprised. Murongning raised her eyebrows and looked at Lin Yuhsan again. I heard that you were discharged today, so I came to pick you up. Murong, sensei. Why are you here too? Lin Yuhsan was surprised to see Murongning here. Although Murongning was the school's director, the students usually called her teacher. Tai Zhu, go downstairs and do the paperwork. Murongning seemed to be interested. She waved her hand and asked the tall and strong Tai Zhu to go downstairs. Seeing Tai Zhu's appearance, Lin Yuhsan was obviously a little scared. She subconsciously walked behind Li Fan, pulled his sleeve and said, Li Fan. Who is that? He looks so fierce. That's my housekeeper. Murongning crossed her arms and looked at Lin Yuhsan. This should be the school's top classmate Lin. Why are you here? Because Li Fan was injured because of me, Sensei Murong. Lin Yuhsan hurriedly explained. On the other hand, Sensei Murong, why are you here? Because I'm his fiancé. The corner of Murong Ying's mouth slightly rose. Lin Yuhsan was immediately stunned. Li Fan was also stunned. Motherfucker, it's messed up, it's all fucking messed up. What's wrong with Murongning today? What happened to being low-key? What happened to not revealing her identity? Fiancé. Even if Lin Yuhsan had an IQ of 140, she was also stunned at this moment. What the hell is going on? How could Li Fan have a fiancé out of nowhere? Moreover, it's a great beauty like Murongning. Didn't he say that he wanted to chase after Murongning? What the hell is going on? Lin Yuhsan, we're only fiancé in name. Don't be scared. Li Fan was afraid that Lin Yuhsan would leak this matter out, so he hurriedly explained, actually we don't have any substantial relationship. Don't misunderstand and don't tell anyone. How is there no substantial relationship? Murongning somewhat proudly touched her flat belly. I'm already pregnant with your child. What? Lin Yuhsan nearly exploded. Pregnant with child? You guys. Did. Lin Yuhsan stuttered. Li Fan immediately clarified. Stop messing around. At most, we've only kissed. Only kissed. Lin Yuhsn seemed to be relieved, but very quickly, she became unhappy again. Even if it's just kissing. I'm a little uncomfortable. Muronging and Li Fan. The two of them are actually fiancé. Then what should I do? No. Lin Yuhsn, what are you thinking? What relationship do the two of them have with you? Why are you so worried? That's right, I'm helping Li Fan to re-establish his three views. He's so young, and he's already engaged to someone when he's still studying. This is not proper. This is a mental illness. That's right. That's right. I'm a qualified psychiatrist. I have to treat him. I have a great responsibility. I must not lose in the battle of treatment. Lin Yuhsn secretly encouraged herself. At this time, Muronging began to ask her to leave. Classmate Lin, you can go back now. I'll take care of him. Teacher Murong, no matter what, Li Fan was injured because of me. As a classmate and a good friend, I should naturally take him out of the hospital. Lin Yuhsn raised her head as if she was issuing a challenge. Oh. Muronging seemed to be smiling. It was unknown if it was a light smile or a cold smile. In any case, from Li Fan's point of view, it wasn't a good smile. If it's Li Fan, naturally I, as his fiancé, will take him out of the hospital. As she said, her gaze fell on Li Fan. Back to our warm home, right, husband? This husband made Lin Yuhsn feel extremely uncomfortable. What's going on? Why do I feel so uncomfortable? It must be because the air in the hospital isn't that good. Teacher Murong, you're not legally recognized as husband and wife. It's not right for you to call me that. Lin Yuhsn said unconvinced. Moreover, Li Fan is still a high school student. Moreover, he's going to take the college entrance examination next year. He shouldn't be exposed to marriage so early. This will affect his future. Classmate Lin, I can feel your concern for your classmate. Muronging lightly said, but my man's future, I naturally have the final say. He has hands and feet. He's also a man. Why does he need a woman like you to have the final say? Lin Yuhsn became even more unhappy. Because he's the father of my child. He must take responsibility. Forget it. Don't you have any physiological knowledge? Kissing won't make you pregnant. You speak as if you understand it very well. Have you ever kissed before? This. Lin Yuhsn was flustered. But Muronging continued to provoke, Classmate Lin, your current task is to study well. Don't be overly concerned about the opposite-sex students. Be careful that it will affect your grades. My grades have always been good. Teacher Murong doesn't need to worry about me. Li Fan, let's go. I'll accompany you out of the hospital. Husband, I'll take you home. The two of them simultaneously stretched out their hands towards Li Fan. Chapter 113. To communicate with these two women, Li Fan felt that he would rather fight with Guan Wenbao for another 300 rounds. Motherfucker, what the hell was going on? His plan was about to be disrupted by these two women. You two, stop fooling around. I'm a patient, do you know that? Li Fan said angrily, moreover, I have legs, I can get out of the hospital by myself. I don't need your help. As he spoke, he ignored the two women and directly pushed open the door and walked out. Ah, Li Fan. Wait a minute. Muronging stopped Lin Yuhsn who wanted to chase after him. Classmate Lin, how about the two of us have a chat? Director Murong, I don't think the two of us have anything to talk about. Lin Yuhsn looked at Muronging, we don't belong to the same world. Indeed, we don't belong to the same world. Muronging agreed with this point. But because of a certain someone, they crossed paths. Although this is not the result that I want to see, there are some words that I want to warn you about. Director Murong has a high position and power. Lin Yuhsn said with a bit of sarcasm, I'm really flattered that you want to personally warn a small figure like me. Classmate Lin, you're still young, there's no need for you to speak so harshly. Murong looked at Lin Yuhsn as if she was looking at a little girl. After all, the marriage between me and Li Fan is something that both parents have agreed to. It's absolutely impossible for you to interfere. Moreover, Li Fan is not an ordinary person, and he's not someone that a girl like you can control. It's better for you to keep your distance from him. That's funny. Lin Yuhsn curled her lips. First of all, I don't have that kind of feelings for Li Fan. Secondly, even if I do have feelings for him, who are you to stop me? What era was it now? Arranged marriages were no longer practiced. You two haven't even gotten a marriage certificate. Even if I like him, it's reasonable and legal. Director Murong, with your status, you shouldn't have said these things to me. What's wrong? Are you afraid? Me? Afraid? Of course you're scared. Lin Yuhsn nodded confidently. I majored in psychology. You can't hide it from me. You're afraid that I'll snatch Li Fan away. Ridiculous. Murong snorted coldly, why would I be afraid? If you're not afraid, how about we make a bet? Lin Yuhsn made a victory sign in her heart. Although Murong Ying's figure was better than hers, and her background was also better than mine. But when it came to intelligence, that was his advantage. Bet? Tell me about it. From Li Fan's classmate Li's attitude, you should be able to tell that his feelings for us are similar. So, we're on equal footing now, and the opportunity is also fair. Both of us, let's bet on who can make Li Fan fall for you. Interesting. Murong crossed her arms and pondered for a while, but, you'll definitely lose. Are you sure you want to compete? We'll know after we compete. The loser will leave Li Fan's world. Do you dare to do that? Lin Yuhsn deliberately provoked Murong. She knew that this method was more effective. Why not? Murong nodded, I accept your challenge. Okay. Lin Yuhsn was a little proud. She was killing two birds with one stone. She didn't say to chase after Li Fan, but to make Li Fan fall for her first. Humph humph, it's not difficult to make Li Fan fall for me. Moreover, we don't need to be boyfriend and girlfriend. I can win against a beauty like Murong and make her leave Li Fan on her own accord. Then, I can let Li Fan return to his normal life and correct his worldview. Ayaya, I'm really awesome. I can actually think of such an awesome idea. Then it's a deal. It's a deal. When the two women pulled away from the smoke-free battlefield, Li Fan was also setting up his own trap. There was a secluded corner at the back of the hospital. There was almost no one there. Li Fan deliberately bought a grilled sausage and cola from Huang Lei. As if to avoid everyone's sight, he squatted in the corner and started to eat the grilled sausage. But to be honest, Li Fan hadn't eaten such delicious food for a long time. He was quite excited. He didn't want to get injured again. The feeling of not being able to eat was really unpleasant. Take the bait. Quickly take the bait. Li Fan sat on the stairs and took out his phone. He pretended to secretly eat while scrolling through Weibo. Tai Zhu and Murong weren't here. Li Wenjue should know that this was his only chance. After a few more days of recovery, he probably wouldn't be able to kill me. If I were Li Wenjue, I definitely wouldn't miss this opportunity. Li Fan waited for more than an hour. His phone was almost out of battery. He finally stood up and stretched his body. He was ready to leave. But at this moment, a chilly wind came down from above. Li Fan didn't hesitate and immediately turned around and kicked. Li Wenjue somersaulted in mid-air and landed on top of a dried fountain statue to stabilize himself. We meet again. Li Fan finally smiled. Seeing Li Wenjue again, he wasn't angry but excited. it's time to continue our unfinished battle, right? It's time to complete your nightmare. Li Wenjue took a deep breath and slowly separated his palms. Thanks to you, my minor formless magic technique had a breakthrough. It's now the 5th level. Then aren't you going to treat me to a meal? I'll send you to hell. Li Wenjue said and suddenly chopped at Li Fan with his hand. Li Fan took a step back. Li Wenjue's hand chopped at the wall behind Li Fan. Pang! The wall was forcibly cut out a groove, and then Li Wenjue used another piercing hand, which was dodged by Li Fan sideways. Pooh! The wall was once again pierced by Li Wenjue's palm. Damn it! Minor formless magic technique is a bit too heaven-defying. Even I can't train my body to be like steel. The current Li Wenjue doesn't need the goose feather blade, nor does he need a pair of iron claws. He himself is the strongest weapon in the world. You can't defeat me. Li Wenjue continued to attack. Li Fan could only use the red-crowned crane wings to block the attacks. The red-crowned crane wings can be said to be Li Fan's best defense. It allows him to form a 1-meter vacuum zone around him, blocking any attack. But Li Wenjue's attacks are too strong. Soon, Li Fan's hands were covered in wounds. It seems like he won't be able to hold on for long. But Li Fan doesn't panic. Instead, he is very calm. He is waiting for an opportunity. Go to hell. Li Wenjue's left hand suddenly stabbed at Li Fan's throat. This is the moment. Li Wenjue's dominant hand is his left hand. His goal was to seal his left hand. Chapter 114. Dear Capture. Li Fan's hands lock onto Li Wenjue's left hand as he forcefully pulls it down. Although Li Wenjue has copper skin and iron bones, Li Fan's deer strike technique lock technique makes him unable to break free. His body is pushed forward but Li Wenjue doesn't care. Even if he can lock his arm, Li Fan won't be able to hurt him. His lesser phaseless divine technique is that heaven-defying. He has already trained it to the 5th stage. As long as he can kill Li Fan, he might be able to advance to 1,000 households when he returns. Li Wenjue looks at Li Fan with eyes filled with greed. It is as if Li Fan is just a prey in his eyes. And this kind of gaze is something that Li Fan doesn't like. Still not giving up. Li Wenjue sneers, your death date has arrived. No, it is your death date. Li Fan suddenly laughs. Li Wenjue is thinking in his heart, could it be that this fellow has gone crazy from despair? Before he could figure it out, a bad feeling suddenly exploded from his back, causing Li Wenjue to feel a chill run down his spine. Li Wenjue turns his head and sees a horrifying scene. The statue of Second Master Guan by the side of the fountain suddenly moves. No, that is not a statue. It is clearly a man with silver paint on his face. He raises a crescent moon blade in his hand and suddenly jumps over. In a blink of an eye, the crescent moon blade brings with it a crimson glow as it lands on Li Wenjue's arm. Splitting Mount Hua. Guan Wenbao's Guan family's saber technique is very domineering. Its attack power is strong and it presses forward. Li Fan believes that with Guan Wenbao's saber technique, he can definitely restrain Li Wenjue's lesser phaseless divine technique. Indeed, the air seems to burn as the crimson flame slashes on Li Wenjue's arm. Clang! With a muffled sound, Li Wenjue's arm trembled heavily, and then with a kapuchi sound, it was forcefully chopped off by Guan Wenbao's saber. Impossible! Li Wenjue howled in pain and took 3 steps back. At the same time, he sealed the qi and blood in his left hand to prevent himself from losing too much blood and becoming weak. But even if he dealt with it in time, he had lost an arm just like that. Moreover, it was his favorite hand. As for Guan Wenbao's crescent blade, it was bent. It was a ghastly sight. Li Wenjue clutched his broken arm, coldly staring at Li Fan and Guan Wenbao. Despicable bastard, how dare you sneak attack me? Go to hell. Don't be shameless. Li Fan cursed, how dare you say such things? A mere inexperienced brat dares to scheme against me. I'll take your life. As Li Wenjue spoke, his eyes were already bloodshot. His right hand directly reached out towards Li Fan. Even if he only had one arm, he still wanted to fight him to determine who was better. Old Guan, leave the rest to me. Li Fan did not want to team up and bully a person with only one arm. His body trembled and he roared, causing the ground around him to tremble. Bear strike. Bear cavalry. Li Fan's body seemed to have swelled up a bit. True qi filled his body, strengthening his muscles, and even the bones in his body had changed. Just like India's yoga, when cultivated to the extreme, Chinese true qi could also allow a person to be reborn. At this time, under the strengthening of true qi, Li Fan's height of 1.7 meters had grown to 1.9 meters. The muscles on his body had also become firmer. At first glance, Li Fan looked like a giant bear in human form. Li Fan was wearing a suit, but his shirt was torn by Li Fan. His pants had also become cropped. Seeing Li Fan's transformation, Li Wenjue was clearly shocked. Abnormal bone changing. This Li Fan's internal energy had already undergone such a powerful transformation. Even after training to the 5th level of minor phaseless technique, he still could not achieve abnormal bone changing. At the very least, he needed to reach the 8th level of minor phaseless technique. And this man clearly only had the strength of 4 tigers. How could he achieve such a feat? Black Bear slamming the door. Li Fan raised his palm and slapped towards Li Wenjue's face. Li Wenjue raised his right arm and blocked in front of him. But the power of Li Fan's slap was too strong. In an instant, his body was sent flying as if he was swatting a bug. Boom! The fountain sculpture behind him was instantly crushed. Li Wenjue was lying inside. Although he did not suffer any external injuries because of minor phaseless technique, his internal organs were affected, and his blood flow was somewhat unstable. Li Fan took 2 steps forward and grabbed Li Wenjue. With a single hand, he lifted him into the air and smashed him on both sides. Finally, he smashed him heavily on the ground and added a kick. Bam! This kick was extremely heavy, and Li Wenjue spat out a mouthful of blood. The power of this kick from Li Fan was too strong. Even with his golden body, Li Wenjue could not completely block it. He was extremely shocked. How could a mere Li Fan have such strength? Li Wenjue, I did not have the intention to hurt you, but you forced me. Li Fan stepped on Li Wenjue with one foot and said in a muffled voice, I will not kill you, but I will accept your martial arts. With that, he suddenly retracted his bear cavalry stance. His bones let out a crackling sound, and his body returned to its original state. Then, he changed to Toad Strike. Before Li Wenjue could stand up, Li Fan slapped him on the forehead. He was a pure yang body, so he could absorb a woman's true qi from his mouth. Li Fan had always wanted to improve on this. If he could not only absorb true qi from women, it would be much more convenient. Furthermore, absorbing it from his mouth was too evil. He could use his mouth on women, but he could not bear to use his mouth on men. Therefore, during the few days that Li Fan had been recuperating in the hospital, he had comprehended a new technique. Dragon Toad Ingestion. Li Fan allowed his true qi to form a black hole from his palm, and then let it flow through his body, imitating the way a pure yang body absorbs true qi. Although the effect was less than 1/10 of a pure yang body, it was very useful for a seriously injured person. Li Fan's palm was like a greedy toad sucking water, forcefully extracting true qi from Li Wenjue's Baihui acupoint. What are you doing? Li Wenjue was terrified, and he felt a wave of panic in his heart. Following that, the true qi in his body seemed to be out of his control, and was forcefully extracted from his dantian. It was as if he was sleeping soundly in his bed, and suddenly a burly man pulled him out of his bed. This feeling was really uncomfortable. No! No! The dignified Li Baihu was letting out a miserable cry like a woman. And his true qi was continuously being extracted from his dantian, and through the baihui acupoint on the top of his head, it entered Li Fan's body. "Let me go, I beg you to let me go." Li Wenjue wailed like a ghost and howled like a wolf, but Li Fan did not have the slightest intention of letting go. In fact, he was no longer under Li Fan's control. He felt as if his hand was growing on Li Wenjue's head, and was frantically extracting true qi from his body. He could not stop. Chapter 115. This is also the first time Li Fan uses Dragon Toad's ingestion of water. He didn't think that such a situation would occur. It can be said that he is just using Li Wenjue to test the waters. But who would have thought that the result of testing the waters is a little beyond Li Fan's expectations. The true qi in Li Wenjue's body is completely squeezed out from his dantian. Almost nothing is left, all of it is extracted. In less than 3 minutes, Li Wenjue is already paralyzed on the ground, twitching non-stop. All of the true qi in his body has been extracted by Li Fan. It can be said that he is equivalent to being crippled. From now on, he basically has no fate with martial arts. To him, this is more painful than killing him. Li Fan finally absorbs all of Li Wenjue's internal energy. The uncontrollable suction force from his palm also stops. He looks at his own hand, his heart is filled with amazement. Dragon Toad's ingestion of water can be said to be a technique that harms others to benefit oneself. Furthermore, this benefit is pitifully small. After absorbing so much energy, Li Fan can only use 10% of it. This 10% still needs time to be refined. After refining, it should be enough to raise his strength to the strength of 5 tigers. This way, his realm will step into the advanced level. The distance between him and Murongying is getting closer and closer. Li Fan believes that sooner or later, he will surpass Murongying. What he needs is time and opportunity. But Li Wenjue is already at his limit. Not to mention that he has lost an arm, he has also lost all of his internal energy. Now that his dantian is also crippled, what awaits him is endless despair. "Your Excellency." Guan Wenbao kneels down in front of Li Fan and cups his hands and says, "Wenbao has a request." "How many times have I said, don't call me Your Excellency?" Li Fan waves his hand, "Just call me by my name." "Sir." Please agree to Wenbao's presumptuous request, but Guan Wenbao still insisted, so Li Fan could only nod. Okay. Tell me, what do you want from me?" "Sir, please promise Wenbao that you will never use this evil method again." Guan Wenbao pleaded, "Destroying a person's martial arts is scarier than killing a person. Wenbao, I hope that Your Excellency will not use this kind of evil technique again. If you want to use it, you might as well kill him." "I think I understand what you mean." Li Fan nodded, but Huang Lei had been secretly watching from the side for a long time. When he heard Guan Wenbao's words, he immediately became unhappy and stood up to reprimand him. "Guan Wenbao, how could you say that? If my big brother hadn't saved you, you would still be a lackey for a silly little girl. Not only are you not repaying my big brother, but you're also pointing fingers here. Remember your identity, you're the same as me, just a little brother. As a little brother, you will do whatever big brother says. Do you understand? Some things can be done, and some things can't be done." However, Guan Wenbao was insistent. "Fart, when you were a lackey for that silly little girl, you've done even more absurd things. Why don't you say it?" Guan Wenbao was speechless, but Li Fan quickly said, "Don't say that, Lei. If I do that, then what's the difference between me and that snake woman? Today is the first time I used this trick, it's very evil, so try not to use it in the future." Li Fan patted Guan Wenbao's shoulder, "We're all brothers. Don't kneel, a man's knees are worth gold." "Thank you, sir," it was Wenbao who was rude. Guan Wenbao was very ashamed. Li Fan glanced at Li Wenjue, "This is a hospital, Lei, set off the fireworks, let the doctor save him, let's go." "Got it, big brother." Huang Lei took out the prepared fireworks and lit them on the ground. The three of them quickly left the place, as if they had never been here. This was an abandoned place, and there were no cameras, which were already investigated by Lin Luo and Huang Lei. After Li Fan left the hospital, he asked Guan Wenbao to take the money back to the Miss of the Red Dragon Society. Huang Lei was still a little distressed. 1.5 million, it was gone before he could even warm his hands. However, Li Fan still owed Lu Xinnan 500,000, and he was still waiting for Lu Xinnan to call him. Li Fan didn't have time to think about these things. After he crippled Li Wenjue, he immediately returned home and sat in the training room. Phew! Li Fan slowly exhaled a mouthful of turbid air, feeling the changes in his body. A qualified martial fighter could look at his own meridians. Li Fan could do this now. As long as he calmed his mind and concentrated on training, he could see the appearance of his meridians. A stream of true qi came out from his dantian, and then according to the order Li Fan modified, it went through each meridian in his body. After looking inside, Li Fan found that there were 9 important acupuncture points in his meridians. At this time, 4 of these acupuncture points had been opened, and every time he opened a new internal force, one of these acupuncture points would be opened. In other words, his new 7 gallant force had a total of 9 layers. Muronging said that the 5 animal frolics internal force had 5 layers. It seemed that after being modified by him, there were new changes. 9 layers, interesting. I have also absorbed some of Li Wenjue's true qi. Can I smoothly open the 5th acupuncture point? Li Fan first mobilized the dantian qi in his body, refining Li Wenjue's true qi that was stored in it. This Li Wenjue's true qi was very overbearing, and it also carried a kind of evil. Once it was released, it immediately collided in Li Fan's body, as if it was very difficult to deal with. Motherfucker, you think I can't deal with you? Li Fan curled his lips. Even Murong Ying's true qi was subdued by the young master, not to mention your strange martial arts. Li Fan immediately mobilized all the true qi in his body, and began to encircle and suppress Li Wenjue's true qi. Rather than saying encircle and suppress, it was more like devouring. After all, Li Fan's true qi was the majority, so he easily gained the upper hand, and crazily devoured Li Wenjue's true qi. This bit of true qi did not last for too long, and was refined by Li Fan. The extra true qi gave Li Fan a sense of adequacy. The true qi that he had lost before was also completely replenished. Li Fan even had an urge to continue devouring other people's true qi. This feeling of reaping without sowing made him very refreshed. Do you like it? Someone seemed to be talking in his ear, causing Li Fan to frown slightly. Who is it? Thirst for power. That voice did not answer Li Fan, but continued, we are destined to be extraordinary, so why should we suppress our power? As long as you open your heart and accept me, we will be unparalleled in the world. In this world, no one is our opponent. Shut up. Li Fan berated, but the voice laughed. One day, you will need my power, he he he. Chapter 116. Shut up. Li Fan is a bit annoyed. Who is it that dares to disturb my mind? Everyone is bullying you. Have you forgotten? The voice continues to whisper in Li Fan's ear, could it be that you can endure it? I will use my strength to defeat them. Li Fan immediately says, who are you? Why are you chirping in my ear? So annoying. I am you. Could it be that you can't even recognize your own voice? The voice continues, all of these are your own voice. The heavens are unfair. All living things are like dogs. Why are you bitterly defending this useless righteousness? So it is my heart's devil. Li Fan laughs. Muronging said that when one cultivates to a certain realm, they will encounter their own heart's devil. It seems like this dragon toad's absorption of water is indeed an evil technique. With the addition of the minor phaseless divine technique's evil aura, it managed to lure you out. I am originally you. What is there to be lured out? The voice sneers, Li Fan. Could it be that you have forgotten? When you were in school, how those people oppressed you. Your teacher, your classmates, how did they bully you? And that Murong Ying. She is so high and mighty. Could it be that you don't want to conquer her under your crotch? Hearing this, Li Fan goes silent for a moment. Without knowing why, he is unable to refute the heart's devil's words. Release me, and you can be the only one. The voice seems to be right beside his ear, but it also seems to be far away. Release me, and you can move unhindered under the heavens. The voice is tempting Li Fan. But Li Fan tries his best to empty his mind and ignore the voice. What heart's devil, I can just ignore it. Li Fan re-enters his inner vision and starts to mobilize his qi. Under Li Fan's control, this huge qi starts to attack the fifth acupoint. As long as he breaks through this acupoint, he will be able to open the fifth realm. At that time, he would be a true expert. However, attacking the fifth acupoint was not as simple as absorbing Li Wenjue's true qi. This fifth acupoint was like a sturdy wall. No matter how hard Li Fan tried, he couldn't move it at all. As expected, it wasn't that easy to break through his inner force. However, Li Fan was not discouraged and continued to work hard to conquer this position. His true qi was like a ferocious cavalry, attacking again and again, crazily attacking the fifth meridian point. Finally, under Li Fan's prolonged attacks, a crack appeared on the sturdy city wall. Try harder. Li Fan cheered himself on. He maintained his patience and continued to conquer step by step. He didn't know how much time had passed, but he was already covered in cold sweat. While he was concentrating on overcoming the difficulties, Murong Ying also returned home. She was slightly surprised to see Li Fan in the practice room. This was because 4 puffs of white smoke had appeared above Li Fan's head and were slowly drifting towards his head. 4 flowers at one's prominence. Murong Ying was very envious. Not everyone could have this thing. It represented a person's talent. She was already talented and had a clear bone structure, but she was only at 3 flowers at one's prominence. As for Li Fan, he was actually at 4 flowers at one's prominence, which was 1 more flower than her. Although this boy looked ordinary, he had amazing talent in martial arts. The pure yang constitution was great. Why couldn't she have a male body? If she also had a pure yang constitution, she would have been a grandmaster a long time ago. However, there was a faint trace of black on Li Fan's face. Murong Ying's face darkened. He hadn't been practicing martial arts for long, but he had already encountered an inner demon. However, it seemed normal. After all, Li Fan's strength had improved too quickly, as if he had advanced by leaps and bounds. It was impossible for ordinary people to cultivate to the point of perfection without 8 to 10 years. However, Li Fan was an exception. In less than 2 months, he had already reached this level. As the saying went, it was difficult to cultivate for 1,000 years, but easy to become a demon overnight. Practicing martial arts originally had to be done step by step. Once one's strength increased too quickly, and one's state of mind could not keep up, then inner demons would be born. She hoped that Li Fan could resolve this inner demon and not become a demon. Murong Ying stood in front of the door, quietly looking at Li Fan as if she was waiting for him. At this moment, Li Fan had reached a critical juncture. Many cracks had appeared on the 5th acupoint, and he was about to conquer it. However, at this moment, a strong flow of qi flowed out from the 5th acupoint and hit Li Fan's qi. Li Fan was stunned for a moment. What was going on? There was actually a flow of true qi. Was this the 5th acupoint's final resistance? Well, young master would not be afraid of you. Li Fan took a deep breath, stabilized the true qi that was almost scattered, and then intertwined with the true qi that flowed out from the acupoint. Hard work pays off. Under Li Fan's hard work, he finally destroyed the last bit of true qi that was resisting stubbornly. The 5th acupoint also became unobstructed, and a comfortable feeling flowed into Li Fan's body. Li Fan felt as if his eyes and ears had become sharper. When he opened his eyes, he could even see the fine hair on Murong Ying's face. He had indeed become stronger. This kind of feeling made Li Fan feel especially comfortable. However, he also had a feeling that he could feel the true qi flowing in Murong Ying's body. It was so tempting, as if it was an unstoppable delicacy, enticing him. This feeling was like a vampire seeing the blood flow in a human's body. Very strange. Absorb all her true qi. That hoarse voice rang in his ear again, you can become stronger. Go, absorb all her. Absorb all your grandpa. Shut up. Li Fan scolded in his heart, and the voice slowly dissipated. The heart demon originates from your weakness. At this time, Murong Ying spoke, similarly, it will also dissipate in your strength. You actually saw through it? Li Fan was a little surprised. What kind of eyes does this Murong Ying have? Of course. Murong Ying was a little proud, how can such a small matter be hidden from me? You don't have to worry, the heart demon is a step that every martial artist will experience. There is a first time for everything, don't be afraid. Damn, why does this sentence sound a little wrong? Li Fan did not know whether to laugh or cry, but he was a little itchy. He hooked his finger at Murong Ying, wife, tonight I am going to climb into your bed. No wonder there is a heart demon. You are really not steady at all. Murong Ying laughed, alright, tonight I will personally test you and see if you have the ability to climb into my bed. Good, good, good. Remember what you said. Li Fan was overjoyed, I am not the previous Li Fan. You better be careful. Chapter 117. Fighting with Murong Ying once again, Li Fan was full of confidence. After all, he had advanced a level and entered the next level. This unprecedented confidence made Li Fan even more excited. To be fair to you, I won't use my sword. Murong Ying unexpectedly showed mercy today, which made Li Fan somewhat surprised. No need, I want to fight you with all my strength. But Li Fan was arrogant, how could he be willing to let Murong Ying go easy on him? But Murong Ying smiled sweetly, stretched out 2 fingers and said, there is a sword in my heart. With that, she pointed 2 fingers at Li Fan, and a sword qi suddenly brushed past Li Fan's cheek and hit the wall behind him. A bloodstain appeared on Li Fan's cheek, and a small crack appeared on the wall behind him, leading to the outside world. What the? Has Murong Ying's swordsmanship already reached such a high level? No wonder she is the leader of the Wulin Alliance, with just a lift of her hand, there is sword qi. I already felt that Murong Ying was amazing, but only today did I realize that I still underestimated her. Li Fan, after 3 days, I have to look at you in a different light. Murong Ying said, although I have to look at you in a different light, these few days I have recovered very quickly. After all, I have returned to the peak. Damn! Li Fan almost collapsed, how could this woman also advance a level? Humph, so what if I am a level lower, today I will challenge someone of a higher level. Li Fan said in an extraordinary manner, but Murong Ying shook her finger, no, 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 this is not a matter of a level, but a whole realm. The gap of a realm cannot be made up with brute force and skill. It can be said that a master of the peak can fight more than 10 masters of the next level without any problem. On the other hand, a super expert like Murong Ying, who was close to the level of a grandmaster, could fight 100 of them alone. Don't look down on me, my wife. You'll be the one to suffer when the time comes. As Li Fan spoke, he circulated the qi in his dantian, and the 7 heroes' force spread throughout his body. The 7 heroes' force made Li Fan stronger and his senses more sensitive. At the same time, Li Fan could directly feel the power of Murong Ying. This woman was indeed very powerful. Her entire body was covered in sword qi, but in that instant, in the blink of an eye, the sword qi was absorbed into her body. Quiet as a virgin, quick as a rabbit. It was fine if Murong Ying did not make a move, but once she did, the world would be turned upside down. Competing with Murong Ying, Li Fan had to be extremely careful. He gathered his qi and prepared to fight with Murong Ying. Li Fan, I've known you for so long, but this is the first time you've seen my Murong family's secret technique, Fallen Hero's sword technique. Murong said, this Fallen Hero's sword technique is overbearing but not lacking in nimbleness. The most important thing is that it complements my martial god technique, allowing me to heavens, down, none, double. With that, Murong stretched out her hand and released her sword chi towards Li Fan. For the first time, Li Fan saw that sword chi could also take shape. In front of him, a lotus flower formed by sword chi slowly bloomed, releasing intense sword chi, like the petals of the lotus flower, in an instant, attacking in all directions. What the fuck? Needless to say, Li Fan was shocked. So, when martial arts reached Murong Ying's level, it turned out to be like this. Incorporeal chi and sword chi could actually take form. There are 3 major obstacles in martial arts, and I've already broken through one of them. You better watch carefully. Murong looked at Li Fan, who was using immortal crane flapping wings to send her sword chi flying, with a smile. This is one of the 3 major obstacles, turning nothingness into reality. The chi in your body, including my sword chi, can all turn from nothingness into a tangible object. How to turn a gaseous object into a tangible object, this is what you need to learn next. With that, Murong opened her right hand, and that large lotus flower seemed to have color, and suddenly dispersed. The lotus flower disappeared, and the room seemed to be covered with pink cherry blossoms, all formed by Murong sword chi. These cherry blossoms flew out in all directions, looking extremely beautiful, but hidden within them was killing intent. Li Fan kept waving his hands, using 120% of immortal crane flapping wings in an attempt to send these sword chi flying. But there were too many cherry blossom sword chi, and in the blink of an eye, a lot of them slipped through the net, passing through Li Fan's body, leaving many small wounds. Looking at the beautiful curve on Murong lips, Li Fan was very unhappy. Damn it, I can't let this woman look down on me. Bear. Mount. Army. Li Fan roared angrily, and his body suddenly expanded a bit. The shirt that he was wearing was torn again. This move was really a little troublesome. He was too wasteful. Li Fan secretly felt his heart ache. Abnormal bone changing. Murong seemed a little surprised, as if she didn't expect Li Fan to be able to use such profound martial arts. There were 3 major obstacles in martial arts, turning nothingness into reality, abnormal bone changing, and heart and demon unification. She had gone through untold hardships to break through one of the major obstacles, which was turning nothingness into reality, which was why she was regarded as a peerless genius by her family. And this Li Fan actually comprehended abnormal bone changing in such a short period of time? This was a little too unfair. At this moment, Murong heart was not balanced, and she actually felt a little jealous. With a wave of her hand, a row of cherry blossom sword chi had already arrived in front of Li Fan. This time, she had lost her composure, and forgot to be merciful. And facing so many cherry blossom sword chi, Li Fan could only stretch out his hands in panic, blocking in front of his body. Fortunately, after entering the bear cavalry, Li Fan's defense had greatly increased. When the cherry blossom sword chi hit his body, it collided with Li Fan's protective chi, creating golden sparks. However, there were still some that penetrated his true chi and stabbed into his body, leaving more scars on Li Fan's body. Humph. Li Fan raised his arm, withstood the cherry blossom sword chi, and walked step by step towards Murong. After entering the bear cavalry, other than the bear strike technique, Li Fan could not use any other moves. He could only endure and charge forward. Murong frowned. Was Li Fan crazy? She increased the speed of the cherry blossom sword chi, trying to force Li Fan back. But not only did Li Fan not retreat, a smile slowly appeared on his face. He seemed to be very happy. He had clearly suffered so many injuries, but could he still be happy? Just as Murong was hesitating, Li Fan's hand was already on her shoulder. I've caught you. Li Fan's eyes flickered with joy. Following that, he lifted with one hand, and Murong Ying's body was directly grabbed by him. Who? Li Fan threw Murong Ying's body heavily towards the ground like a sack. Chapter 118. Heart-piercing sword. Murong Ying pointed a finger at Li Fan and a cherry blossom sword chi shot towards the center of Li Fan's eyebrows in an attempt to stop Li Fan's attack. However, Li Fan stretched out his right hand and shattered the sword chi. Bam! Murong Ying's body heavily smashed onto the ground. She was actually at a disadvantage. Li Fan had succeeded for the first time. He was extremely happy, but without any hesitation, he had already raised his foot and attempted to step on Murong Ying. Bear trample. During the day, Li Fan had relied on this foot to step on Li Wenjue and cause him to vomit blood. However, Murong Ying was Murong Ying. The title of Martial Arts Alliance Master was not obtained for nothing. When she was only 16 years old, she had already challenged all the dojos under the heavens and won all the famous sects. Her combat experience was very rich. Although she was shocked by Li Fan's moves, she quickly reacted. Li Fan's series of smashing, stomping, and kicking were continuous techniques. Even if she suffered the first move, if she dodged the next one, Li Fan's attack would be ineffective. Murong Ying's right hand slapped the ground and her body immediately slid out lightly. She landed on a wooden stake at the side and maintained the posture of a golden rooster standing on one leg. Then, she pointed two fingers at Li Fan. Thousandly falling petals. With a delicate shout, the cherry blossom sword chi that filled the room suddenly gathered together and spun towards Li Fan. Li Fan's body was hit. Countless cherry blossom sword chi pushed his body and pushed him heavily against the wall behind him. Bam! Li Fan spat out a mouthful of blood. This time, his injuries were not light. Murong Ying was not a gentle girl. When it came to a real fight, she would not hold back. Li Fan slid down to the ground and wiped the blood from the corner of his mouth. He used his inner force to heal himself and thought of a way to deal with the situation. Other than the toad strike technique, all his moves were basically close combat techniques. If he were to fight with Murong Ying, he would be at a disadvantage. Moreover, the toad strike technique's qigong circulation was somewhat slow, so it was not suitable to deal with Murong Ying's fast sword energy. How about it? Do you admit defeat? Murong Ying looked at Li Fan with some pride. As a beginner, you haven't mastered it yet. She had already recovered to the strength of 9 tigers and 2 dragons. She was not far from her previous strength of 4 dragons. Especially since she knew how to turn nothing into something. If she was defeated by Li Fan, it would really be a joke. I won't admit defeat. Li Fan's brain quickly turned, he glanced at his own fingers. Murong Ying could use her fingers to release sword chi, then could he also use his fingers to release true chi? With this idea in mind, Li Fan compressed his true chi and gathered it on his fingers. Imagining the principle of a pistol, Li Fan raised his right hand and extended his thumb and fingers. Like a pistol, he aimed at Murong Ying. Murong Ying slightly tilted her head, not knowing what Li Fan's intention was. At this time, the true qi in Li Fan's body had been forced to the tip of his index finger. Li Fan immediately felt a swelling sensation on his index finger, giving him the urge to shoot it. Sigh, why is this idea so evil? Li Fan shook off his unnecessary thoughts, then aimed at Murong Ying. Pa! True qi exploded from Li Fan's index finger and turned into a pillar of qi, quickly shooting towards Murong Ying. Murong Ying was shocked, she did not expect Li Fan to have such a strange move. She subconsciously adjusted the cherry blossom sword qi, condensing it into a ball in front of her in an attempt to block Li Fan's attack. Bam! However, Li Fan's attack was extremely powerful, and Murong Ying's sword qi defense was actually broken. The bullet formed from true qi hit Murong Ying's shoulder, but because it had consumed too much qi, it was unable to break through Murong Ying's protective aura. Even so, the power was still astonishing. Murong Ying was forced to take a step back, and the cherry blossom sword chi that she controlled also dissipated, turning into an invisible air current that blew open the window behind her. Her beautiful eyes were filled with tears as she looked at Li Fan, momentarily speechless. In such a short period of time, this seemingly ordinary high school youth had already improved to a realm that even she was surprised by. That shot of true chi just now. It actually had such power. How is it? I already said that I will definitely surpass you. Li Fan pointed at Muronging. Come, let us continue to fight for 300 rounds. No need. Muronging put down her hands, and said with a slight smile, this time you win. Really? Li Fan does not believe his ears. Muronging actually admitted defeat? Yes, I originally only wanted to use the strength of a higher level to defeat you. Muronging openly admitted, but you forced me to use the strength of a higher level, so it can be considered as your victory. Ha, then should we? Your head is always thinking of those messy things. Muronging said snappily, I just praised you, and now you are not thinking properly. If you were to use all these messy thoughts on training, you might become stronger. Little girl, training martial arts must be done step by step, steadily and surely. How can you think of advancing by leaps and bounds every day? Humph, using your lewd thoughts as an excuse. How could that be? My wife, you see, aren't the two of us very close? How could I have those lewd thoughts? Then can we cancel the agreement? Muronging immediately asked. Wait a minute, I'll take off my pants first. Pervert, I'll kill you. Muronging stretched out her hand, and petals of cherry blossom sword chi faintly formed. Hey, my wife, don't be like this. Didn't you say that you will keep your words? But you still haven't completely defeated me. Muronging rolled her eyes, and then slightly blushed and said, then you can kiss me. But, be gentle, don't disturb the baby. Disturb your sister's baby, you're not even pregnant. Li Fan could not help but ridicule in his heart, but this opportunity cannot be missed. First, let's have a 360-degree fancy kiss. But he must pay attention to control his pure young body, lest he absorb true chi from Murong-ying's mouth, that would not be good. Li Fan reminded himself, and then slowly walked towards Murong-ying. Murong-ying seemed to be somewhat flustered, and actually closed her eyes. My wife, are you shy? Li Fan recalled the time when the two of them first met. At that time, Murong-ying kissed him so decisively. Looking at now, is she shy? Nonsense. Murong-ying snorted from her throat, when would I be afraid? I just don't want to see your face, I hate you. Then just close your eyes. Li Fan whispered in her ear, it's enough that I like looking at you. Murong-ying seemed to tremble slightly, and began to wait for this long overdue kiss. Chapter 119. Murong-ying closed her eyes and did not dare to use her vital energy to sense the surroundings. It was as if she did not even dare to use her vital energy to touch Li Fan. But the kiss that she was waiting for did not come. Li Fan leaned on her body. This guy, he was too bold. She was the chief of the martial arts circle, how could he be so rude? But he was her fiancé, and also the father of her child. Even if he hugged her, there was nothing wrong with it, but they were not married yet. No, she had to teach him a lesson so that he would know the rules. What are you waiting for, Murong-ying, go. Murong-ying secretly urged herself, but she did not move for a long time. But what made her feel strange was that Li Fan did not move for a long time, as if he was greedy for her embrace. She felt that something was wrong, so she opened her eyes and found that Li Fan had fallen asleep. He was obviously sleeping soundly, as if no one could disturb him. This guy actually fell asleep at such a crucial time. Murong-ying was so angry that she could not bear it. He made her wait for a long time. But he should be too tired. After all, he fought with her and suffered some injuries. Looking at Li Fan who was sleeping soundly, Murong-ying could not help but feel a little warm in her heart. This annoying guy would only be serious when he was asleep. Sigh, she did not know whether it was right or wrong for her to find such a childish fiancé. But no matter what the result was, she, Murong, would bear it. This was her own choice, and she would walk down this path. Li Fan was indeed tired. He had experienced 2 big battles in a day and had a breakthrough in his strength. He slept from 6:00 that night to 6:00 the next morning. After a full 12 hours of sleep, the meridians in Li Fan's body had automatically operated and recovered his vital energy. "You're awake." When Li Fan opened his eyes, he saw Murong sitting beside him. This was strange. In the past, he would see Tai Zhu when he opened his eyes, but today he saw another person. Strange. "How did you come out of my dream?" Li Fan asked subconsciously. Murong blushed and rolled her eyes at Li Fan. "What nonsense are you talking about? I was afraid that you would be haunted by your inner demons at night, so I purposely watched over you. If you suddenly turn into a demon, I will personally kill you to prevent future trouble." "My wife. You're too vicious." Li Fan didn't know whether to laugh or cry. As the saying goes, 100 years of cultivation can be spent on the same bed, and 1,000 years of cultivation can be spent on the same pillow. We've been husband and wife for a lifetime. How can you do this? That's called crossing the same boat for 100 years. Murong Ying's eyes were about to roll to the sky. "You're not being serious again. Sooner or later, you'll be eaten by the heart demon." "How am I improper? I want to be intimate with my wife." "Isn't this the most normal reaction of a man?" Li Fan said very seriously, "Wife, if I don't have feelings for you, then there's something wrong with me." "Oh. Do I have to thank you for what you said?" "That's not necessary. We're a family, so there's no need to be so polite." Li Fan immediately said, "How can you be so polite to your own man? That's too much. Go to hell. You're already panting after just a few sentences." Murong was busy rolling her eyes today. "When it comes to these useless things, you're especially talkative." "Wife, how can you say that?" Li Fan sighed deeply. "What I said is from the bottom of my heart. I don't want much. Actually, I just want to be able to be together with my wife peacefully and spend the rest of our lives together. That's enough. As a man, how can you be so lacking in ambition?" Murong couldn't help but reprimand him. "As a man, I naturally know that I have to be strong." Li Fan looked out the window. "But ever since I met you, my biggest dream changed. I just want to stay by your side and spend the rest of my life with you." "What martial arts alliance leader, #1 in the world, these are just fleeting clouds. As long as I have you, these are really not worth mentioning." "You? Do you really think so?" Murong seemed to be touched. "That's right. Furthermore, there's something. AI, forget it. Let's not talk about it." "What is it? Hurry up and say it." Seeing Li Fan hesitating, Murong subconsciously felt that something was wrong and immediately urged him. "It's really. I'm ashamed to say it, hurry up and say it. Actually, yesterday, I fought with Li Wenjue again." Li Fan's eyes were filled with sadness. "He trained in the minor formless magic art and injured me, causing a lot of damage to my internal organs." "What did you say?" Murong Ying's face changed. Li Fan smiled bitterly and said, "That's why I was so anxious to defeat you yesterday to fulfill my wish, you. Why didn't you say it earlier?" "No matter what, I'm also a man." Li Fan coughed twice. "I'm just regretting that I'm so young, but I can't live for long. I'm sorry to my parents. In the end, I didn't even have a son or daughter." You can't die," Murong pulled Li Fan's hand. Li Fan's eyes were filled with tears. "I don't want to die. But my own body, I know, I won't let you die. I'll find someone to save you," Murong said and was about to get up. However, Li Fan pulled her back. "It's too late. Distant water can't quench present thirst. I just hope that I can leave behind some incense, don't worry. I'll definitely raise our child into an adult. Murong Ying's eyes seemed to turn red. Li Fan explained. Wife, you might have misunderstood. Kissing can't make you pregnant. Two people can only get pregnant when they sleep together. So that's how it is. Murong Ying nodded her head. You're reaching the end of your lifespan. As your wife, I should leave behind some incense for you. Li Fan was overjoyed. There's a way. There's a way. Wife is really considerate. To have a wife like you, I have no regrets in this life. What more can I ask for? Don't say that. I'll definitely find a way to save you. Although the lesser formless god technique is overbearing, Murong Ying's martial god technique is not to be trifled with. Murong Ying frowned. Her voice had also gone up by an octave. I might not be able to wait for much longer, Li Fan coughed again. Wife. Help your husband undress. You. Must be gentle, Murong Ying immediately said. I will. Also. I want to be on top. Although she did not understand, Murong Ying had heard some of the servants talking about it. Fine. Since I can't do it anymore, I'll do as you say. Li Fan kept nodding his head but did not dare to show any impatient look. He was afraid that Murong Ying would see through him. Just a little bit more. You must not fail. Li Fan, you can do it. You're a qualified actor. Besides, this cannot be called cheating. Aren't the two of them husband and wife? This kind of thing, sooner or later, they will have to do it. I'm just trying to take my relationship with Murong Ying a step further. I'm putting in a lot of effort. Just as Murong Ying was about to change her clothes, Li Fan's phone suddenly rang. The phone on the table showed a caller ID. Huang Lei. Chapter 120. Well, don't worry about him. Li Fan wondered why Huang Lei would call him at this time. It was about to happen, okay? Pick it up, let me hear it. Murong Ying said, he is your brother. Before you die, he must want to say something to you. No need, how can a brother be more important than a woman? I don't like to hear this. This is not something a man of the pugilistic world should say. As Murong Ying said this, she had already reached for the phone, picked it up, and put it on speaker. Big brother, today we defeated that Li Wenjue, shouldn't we celebrate? Huang Lei's frivolous voice immediately came through the phone. Big brother, I still have some money. I'll treat you tonight, let's go to the red light district and visit a prostitute. The corner of Murong Ying's mouth had already hung a smile, and Li Fan began to feel a chill down his spine. Big brother, why aren't you saying anything? If you don't say anything, I'll take it as a silent agreement. Huang Lei's chatterbox continued to nag. Big brother, don't you always complain to me that the tigress at home is too annoying? Brainless, retarded, and overbearing. This time, I'll find you a good one, I guarantee that you'll have a good time to vent. Bam! Li Fan's phone had already been smashed into several pieces by the cherry blossom sword Chi, and Li Fan said angrily, yes, wife, good hit. This idiot, I've wanted to scold him for a long time. Every day he wants to take me to a prostitute, am I that kind of person? I, Li Fan, am a good youth of the new society, a righteous person, how can I tolerate this kind of filthy thing? Really? Murong Ying said lightly, just now, I heard someone say that I'm brainless, retarded, and very overbearing. Nonsense, overbearing. Wife, don't listen to this lowly person's nonsense. Li Fan hurriedly explained, I'm sincere to you, heaven and earth can bear witness. Really? Murong Ying's voice already carried a trace of murderous intent. Li Fan patted his chest, of course, my wife has always been like a fairy in my heart. I don't know where that Huang Lei heard those rumors from. I'll tie him up later and let my wife beat him to vent your anger. Even so, what about your illness? Muronging reached out her hand and forcibly placed it on Li Fan's wrist. Your true qi is stable, without any signs of disorder. Li Fan, Li Fan, I really underestimated you. Your acting skills can win an Oscar. Am I alright? Li Fan was pleasantly surprised. Am I really fine? God, I thought I was going to die for sure. Continue acting. Muronging crossed her arms and looked at Li Fan with a faint smile. I'll see how long you can act. Wife, stop messing around. It's getting late. I should go to class. The National Day holiday is over. Li Fan's good days are also coming to an end. Muronging curled her lips. Who is the one messing around? This guy is too good at reversing right and wrong. Li Fan, do you think you can go to school in a healthy state? Muronging raised her eyebrows. Li Fan's heart swayed. Then, wife, you have to support your husband's studies. Li Fan pulled Murongying's sleeve and said, your husband is an ambitious and dedicated person. I know my wife can't bear to leave me, but I still have to fight for our future. Humph. When you come back, I'll deal with you. Muronging turned around and left Li Fan's room. Li Fan finally let out a sigh of relief. Damn, that was really dangerous. Li Fan couldn't help but let out a sigh of relief. He thought to himself, I've finally gotten through this crisis. Damn, I still need to change my phone. But now I'm penniless. A penniless man is no match for a hero. Muronging stepped out of the room and called out to the people outside, Master, you must be very careful. Tai Zhu, go home and get my Luoying sword from home. Fuck. This woman wants to take my life tonight. Li Fan sighed. He thought to himself, what should I do with my life? At this time, Tai Zhu pushed open the door and walked in. He neatly placed the clean school uniform in front of Li Fan. Son-in-law, your school uniform and your new phone. Li Fan took a look. It turned out to be an iPhone 6. It's like you're supporting me. That's too high profile. Li Fan was a little uncomfortable. Tai Zhu, what phone are you using? Let's exchange. Looking at Tai Zhu taking out of her too, Li Fan silently put away the iPhone 6. After all, it's the information age. Without a phone, humans are like losing their souls. He put on his card, put on his school uniform, and left. His first stop was to pick up Lin Yuhsn. He didn't know what was wrong with this girl. She insisted that he continue pretending to be her boyfriend. Originally, Li Fan was very against this kind of thing. But when he thought of Lin Yuhsn's goal of becoming a psychiatrist, Li Fan couldn't help but soften his heart. This girl didn't have it easy. When it's time to help her, I'll help her. Sigh, I'm really too kind. It's really touching. When Li Fan was secretly happy, Lin Yuhsn finally came out of the tube-shaped apartment. Very punctual. Bonus points for you. Lin Yuhsn suddenly had a small notebook in her hand. She wrote something on it. What's this? Li Fan couldn't help but ask. The score table. Lin Yuhsn said very seriously, now you're my boyfriend. Because you're still in the probation period, of course I have to give you points. If you have enough points in the probation period and pass, then you can officially become my boyfriend. If you don't have enough points, then you'll be eliminated. Wait a minute. Li Fan caught the main point. What does probation period boyfriend mean? When did I say that? You might have forgotten, but we are indeed in the probation period. Lin Yuhsn coughed dryly. Her eyes looked a little unnatural. In short, this is a set of procedures to treat your mental illness. Don't you want to cooperate with me? You have to abide by my rules. It feels weird. Li Fan lowered his head as if he was thinking about something. Li Fan, your illness hasn't been completely cured. Lin Yuhsn immediately said, you're so young, yet you're already a child husband. Isn't that sick? Li Fan was a little speechless. Lin Yuhsn struck while the iron was hot and continued, moreover, I'm such a beautiful girl, yet you're still picky? I just feel that it's a little sudden. My treatment focuses on the process. Lin Yuhsn said seriously, you haven't experienced the taste of real love yet. That's why your mind is twisted and you're willing to be a child husband. This won't do. As a doctor, I have the responsibility to save you from the fire and water. Alright then. Li Fan had a feeling of being tricked, then what's with this score? Chapter 121. Test Score. Lin Yuhsn proudly shook the little notebook in her hand, it's a very effective treatment method that I thought of. Why do I feel a little confused? What's there to be confused about? It's very simple. Didn't I just say that you have to get a certain score to become my official boyfriend? Then, can I do it when I become your official boyfriend? Li Fan subconsciously asked this question and then coughed twice. Damn it, why did I say it out loud all of a sudden? Lin Yuhsn's face instantly turned red. She reached out her hand as if she wanted to pinch Li Fan. But her hand reached out and then retracted back. If it's an official boyfriend and girlfriend. After spending some time together, this kind of thing is not impossible. Really, really? Li Fan's eyes lit up. There's a chance. After all, I'm not that old-fashioned. Nowadays, relationships between men and women are not so rigid. As long as you're willing to marry me, some things can be done in advance. Lin Yuhsn nodded, I mean what I said. I won't say anything that doesn't mean what I said. However, I see that you don't seem to be very willing to accompany me to see a doctor. I think it's better not to force you. After all, a forced melon won't be sweet. Dr. Lin, how can you say that? Li Fan immediately said seriously, you're someone who wants to become a psychologist. How can this kind of small hardship stump you? I'm testing you and training you to see if you can break through all the obstacles and knock down the evil demon of illness. That means, you're willing. I'm willing, of course I'm willing. Li Fan nodded repeatedly, to be able to help Dr. Lin grow is my duty and honor. I have to thank you. Don't be so polite. You're treating me like an outsider. Li Fan puffed out his chest, as an advanced student in the school, it's our duty to help the underachievers. Screw you, you're the underachiever. Lin Yuhsn rolled her eyes. You're lying with a straight face. I really admire you. That's because Dr. Lin taught him well. What training? That's called treatment. Yes, cure him. Li Fan nodded heavily. That's exactly what I meant. How many points do I need to pass? If you want to enter the official phase from the internship phase, you have to reach 100 points. Lin Yuhsn pointed at the notebook. If I get 0 points, we can only say goodbye. Don't. How many points do I have now? Your basic score is 10. Lin Yuhsn said one by one, you're very punctual today. Not bad, 2 more points. However, your hair is still so messy and not tidied up. 2 points will be deducted from your image. So you're still 10 points. Only 10 points. Li Fan was a bit disappointed. Can't you give me more? That will depend on your own performance. Lin Yuhsn giggled. If you perform well, you'll get 100 points sooner or later. Do your best, young man. I'm optimistic about you. Thank you. Li Fan was under a lot of pressure. He felt as if he had fallen into Lin Yuhsn's trap. Along the way, the young lady was very happy. She kept telling Li Fan about what happened during the holidays. I'm just a middle school tuition student. He actually wants me to be his girlfriend. This Shota is quite cute. You don't even let off a middle school student. Li Fan pedaled his bicycle. His face sunk. An old cow eating young grass, animal. Go to hell. You're the animal. Lin Yuhsen pinched Li Fan. I just think this kid is cute. Stop it. How can a middle school student be cute? What era do you think we're in? Li Fan reminded Lin Yuhsen. Give him a chance and he'll sleep with you. Go, go, go. Your thinking is so evil. Lin Yuhsen said angrily. Based on your thinking, this world is so scary. Anyway, you should be more careful. Don't drink the water that he gave you. Li Fan reminded her again. Don't worry. I'm not a kid anymore. I'm still vigilant. Lin Yuhsen hugged Li Fan's waist. She giggled. Are you jealous? Of course I'm jealous. I'm very jealous. Li Fan didn't deny it. Right now, we're interning boyfriend and girlfriend. This is called striking the bell as long as you're a monk. Strike your sister. You're the monk. What kind of metaphor is that? How did you learn your language? Lin Yuhsen rolled her eyes. I'll definitely learn Chinese from teacher Lin. Li Fan said immediately. That's more like it. Lin Yuhsen hesitated for a moment before asking softly. Li Fan. Let me ask you a question. You must answer me seriously. You're asking the wrong person. I've always been a very serious person. I don't like to joke around. Cut it out, Lin Yuhsen spat and asked, let me ask you. Do you like me? Huh? Li Fan was stunned. Why would Lin Yuhsen suddenly ask such a question? This wasn't like her. Don't misunderstand. This is a discussion about your illness. Lin Yuhsen immediately emphasized, I need to know your current psychological condition. Alright. Li Fan thought for a moment. I don't think I like you. But I have a good impression of you. Humph. Lin Yuhsen snorted heavily. She was the campus belle. The number of boys chasing after her could line up from the second high school to the neighboring county. But this Li Fan actually said that he only had a good impression of her. Although Li Fan had such a beautiful fiancée. But there was a big gap between the two of them. There would definitely be few common topics. Sooner or later, Li Fan would fall in love with her. Lin Yuhsen secretly vowed in her heart. When Li Fan arrived at school, the class was still the same as usual. Some were busy copying homework and some were busy catching up on sleep. He saw Deng Siwei at a glance. This guy was talking loudly at first. But when he saw Li Fan coming in, he immediately quieted down and lowered his head to do the paper. Isn't this Deng Siwei classmate Deng? Li Fan looked at him with a smile and said, I remember you said you wanted to eat shit. How about it? Do you want to eat it hot or cold? We're all classmates. As long as you say something, I'll get it for you. I'm a selfless Lei Feng. I love to help others. Deng Siwei gritted her teeth. This damn Li Fan. Who would have thought that he actually passed all 5 exams? What's the matter, classmate Deng? Are you still a man? Li Fan looked at Deng Siwei and asked, what's the matter? Are you going to break your promise? Chapter 122. What breach of contract? Deng Siwei starts to act shamelessly, with your results, if you have the ability then do better than me. If you can't beat me, what ability do you have? Deng Siwei, as a man, your words are like nails on the board. Li Fan sneers, although your results are not bad, you can't even be considered as a man. With your conduct, no wonder Lin Yuhsen doesn't like you. Nonsense. If she doesn't like me, do you think she will like you? Deng Siwei becomes angry, I am Deng Siwei, the second-ranked man in the school. You just passed the passing mark. What qualifications do you have to compete with me? I am the teacher's darling. In the future, I will be able to enter a famous university. When I become successful and become a white-collared worker, you can only muddle through your days, eating and waiting to die. Do you think someone who doesn't study well is worthy to bet with me? Deng Siwei, how can you speak like that? How did we offend you because we don't study well? You are too arrogant. Some of the students who didn't study well are immediately unhappy. This Deng Siwei is too arrogant. She is shooting all over the place and bombarding a group of people. What are you shouting for? What qualifications do you have to shout at me? Deng Siwei roars, be careful that I tell the teacher that you all ganged up to bully me. Let's see if you all have a good ending. You bunch of scum, scum. You are not worthy to be in the same classroom as me. Bang! Li Fan's fist has already landed heavily on the desk in front of Deng Siwei. This desk immediately breaks into pieces, scaring Deng Siwei so much that she almost peed in her pants. Your fart is too smelly. I can't help but want to beat you up. Li Fan has scared Deng Siwei badly. Deng Siwei, your results are good, but it doesn't mean that you are better than others. Li Fan needs his fist as he coldly looks at Deng Siwei. Even if our starting points are different, we are all equal. As for what the future will be like, it is not up to you, and it is also not up to me. If there really is a day in the future, Li Fan will not eat a single mouthful of rice from you. He pointed at Deng Siwei. If I hear another word of contempt coming out of your mouth, I'll crush your rotten teeth. You dare to threaten me. Deng Siwei took a few deep breaths. Li Fan laughed. Yes, I threatened you. How about it? Go and tell your teacher, you idiot. However, we can't guarantee that you'll still have your limbs intact after telling the teacher. Bai Lin Luo sat in his seat, calmly pushed up his glasses, and muttered. Li Fan, you can beat him up right now. We can't see it anyway. So what if he's good at studying? Maybe he copied it. That's right, plagiarist dog. The surrounding students had long been angered by Deng Siwei's words and were shouting one after another. All of you are talking nonsense. I never plagiarize. Deng Siwei was about to cry. I relied on my own results. Saying that I plagiarized. Which eye of yours saw that? All of you are framing me. It's jealousy. Deng Siwei, you don't have the right to say such words. When Li Fan heard Deng Siwei said so, he immediately curled his lips. How did you start a rumor about me in the past? Just because I scored better than you in history, it's considered plagiarism? Who gave you the right to start a rumor? Which eye of yours saw that? Deng Siwei was speechless. Li Fan crossed his arms and looked at her coldly. Deng Siwei, God is watching. No matter how good your results are, you're just a scum. Li Fan. If you have the guts, we'll see in 10 years. Deng Siwei said fiercely. 10 years later, I want you to hug my thighs and lick me. There's no need for 10 years. 5 years is enough. Li Fan stretched out his hand. I'm an easygoing person. If you want to gamble, I'll play with you till the end. The teacher is here. A student at the door reminded him. Li Fan looked at Deng Siwei a few more times before returning to his seat. Chang Chuanxi walked in and saw the broken desk in front of Deng Siwei. He asked in surprise, Deng Siwei, what happened to the desk? The corner of Deng Siwei's mouth twitched slightly. She then gritted her teeth and said, Teacher Chang. The desk is not very sturdy, go back to the logistics department and get another one. Make do with your desk mate first. Chang Chuanxi was undoubtedly very tolerant of Deng Siwei. He picked up his book and began to teach without even looking at Li Fan. It seemed that the school had begun to adopt a Cold War attitude towards Li Fan. At present, they did not care about him. However, Li Fan knew that things were definitely not that simple. The principal had a blood feud with him. He would never tolerate the fact that his son was beaten up. There's a new English teacher today. Everyone, let's welcome her. After a language class, someone knocked on the classroom door. Chang Chuanxi went out to take a look. He then turned back and said to the students. Your previous teacher is pregnant. She can't teach you for the time being. The students started to discuss. Who was the new teacher? Would she be too strict? Sigh, it would be good if it was a beauty. Wang Cheng chuckled. His voice was quite loud. Chang Chuanxi heard it, but he did not say anything. After all, Wang Cheng's background was also very strong. Chang Chuanxi did not want to provoke such a student. Just as everyone was discussing, a young beauty wearing black-rimmed glasses walked into the classroom. This beauty had ear-length short hair. She was wearing a white shirt and a black lily skirt. Although it looked simple, it had a scholarly elegance. As she walked in, the boys all swallowed a mouthful of saliva. Beauty, this was a great beauty. Even Li Fan was a little surprised. What was going on recently? Why were there so many beauties running to the school recently? He muttered in his heart, Muronging came for me. Could it be that this beautiful teacher also came for me? Hee hee, I really like to daydream. This will be your teacher from now on. Teacher Liao, please introduce yourself. Even Chang Chuanxi's eyes were filled with greed when he looked at this beautiful teacher Liao. After all, she was a beauty. Everyone would think about her. But for a beauty like Muronging, Chang Chuanxi could only have some thoughts in his heart. He did not even dare to look at her. If one glance made her unhappy and he lost his job, wouldn't that be bad luck? And this teacher Liao was just an ordinary teacher. He was a director. Perhaps he could win her favor. Hello everyone. I am your new teacher. This teacher Liao seemed to be very shy. She lowered her head and introduced herself, I am Liao Wushuang. Wushuang. Such a domineering name. It doesn't resemble the teacher's temperament at all. Teacher, do you have a boyfriend? The students started to jeer, causing Liao Wushuang's face to turn red. Chang Chuanxi coughed twice and scolded, be quiet for a moment. What are you making noise for? Teacher Liao, ignore them. They are all a bunch of stinking brats. By the way, I have not introduced myself. My name is Chang Chuanxi, unmarried. Chapter 123. This Chang Chuanxi is the one who has no moral integrity. Li Fan couldn't help but curl his lips. What kind of person is this? This is too fucked up. With this, he still has the nerve to call himself a teacher. This is an English class. Chang Chuanxi said a lot of words before leaving. With a beautiful teacher teaching, the students listened attentively. Li Fan didn't expect that these students could be so interested in learning. Even a few students who usually sleep in class are now staring at the teacher with full attention. The power of a beauty is extraordinary. If every woman in this world is a beauty, perhaps the world will be more harmonious. The human gene is still not perfect. I hope that one day, everyone is handsome and beautiful. How harmonious that would be. Li Fan didn't pay attention to the class. His mind is in a mess. At this time, the new teacher noticed him and suddenly asked. Student, what's your name? Li Fan has already thought about what to eat tonight. When Liao Wushuang called him, he didn't answer. Everyone's eyes are focused on Li Fan. The boys are a bit jealous. The new teacher actually paid attention to Li Fan. This is too unfair. Student. The bespectacled boy quickly nudged Li Fan with his elbow. Only then did Li Fan wake up. Teacher, you called me. Li Fan said, is this new teacher going to ask me a question? What did she just say? Student. Why are you squatting over there? Why aren't you sitting down? Liao Wushuang seems to be a natural daze. She innocently asked, Student, do you have hemorrhoids or something? A black line appeared on Li Fan's head. The nearby students are muttering. Damn, how did the teacher know? Teacher Liao is a fortune teller. Does the world know that Li Fan has hemorrhoids? Fuck. Who has hemorrhoids? When Li Fan wanted to explain, the class just ended. For the first time, Li Fan felt that the bell is so ear-piercing. Teacher Liao has already walked out of the classroom with her books and glasses. Fuck, no, I have to go up and explain. Li Fan hated being misunderstood the most. He immediately chased after her, wanting to explain to Liao Wushuang. Unexpectedly, when he went out, he found out that Wang Cheng is already there. At this time, Wang Cheng is standing in the corridor, blocking Liao Wushuang's way. Teacher Liao, can we talk? Student, is there something you don't understand? Liao Wushuang thought that Wang Cheng had encountered difficulties in learning English, so she kindly asked. Yes, I have a very difficult problem that I can't figure out. Teacher Liao, please teach me well. Of course. If there's anything you don't know, just ask me. Teacher, of Wang, there are too many people here and it is inconvenient to study. Teacher, there are too many people here. It's not convenient to study. Why don't we find a quiet place? Is the office okay? There are other teachers in the office. It is inconvenient. Wang Cheng smiled, stretched out his hand and grabbed Liao Wushuang's wrist. I booked a suite in a 5-star hotel. It is very secluded and the environment is good. It will guarantee a better learning efficiency. Student. This is not possible. Liao Wushuang tried to get rid of Wang Cheng's entanglement, but Wang Cheng brought 2 strong brothers and surrounded Liao Wushuang. She can't leave for a while. Teacher Liao, you just came to this school. You might not know the rules of this school. Wang Cheng smiled. Teacher Liao, us teachers and students can study it in depth. At this moment, Li Fan walked over from behind and kicked Wang Cheng's butt, causing Wang Cheng to lie on the wall. Fuck, why are you always blocking the way? Li Fan put one hand in his pocket and the other hand dug his ear. He looked at Wang Cheng and scolded, did you change your name to Toyota Prado? Yes, it's my fault. Wang Cheng wanted to get angry, but seeing that it was Li Fan, he obediently held back his temper and obediently moved to the side. The 2 followers also quickly moved away. No one dared to provoke Li Fan, this god of plague. There were so many people in the school, but none of them could beat Li Fan. Who do they think they are? Liao Wushuang took the opportunity to leave. Her footsteps were somewhat hurried as if she was afraid. Be good. Remember not to block the way next time. Li Fan patted Wang Cheng's shoulder. Wang Cheng still had to smile apologetically. Brotherly, how about I treat you to a French feast tonight? Not interested. Li Fan rolled his eyes, you're a Chinese man, why do you eat a French feast every day? If you have nothing to do, just eat mala tang. With that, Li Fan no longer paid attention to this pervert and turned around to leave. Student. Just as Li Fan turned a corner, Liao Wushuang chased after him and called out to Li Fan. Teacher Liao, what's the matter? Li Fan is somewhat baffled. Why is this beautiful new teacher looking for me? Thank you for helping me out. Liao Wushuang is indeed somewhat shy. When she speaks to Li Fan, her voice is very weak. You're welcome. Just be careful in the future. Li Fan did not take it seriously. Helping Liao Wushuang is just something he did out of convenience. He suddenly thought of something and slapped himself on the forehead. Oh yeah, Teacher Liao, I forgot to tell you. I don't have hemorrhoids. Ah. Hearing Li Fan said that, Liao Wushuang comforted him, it's okay. A lot of guys are embarrassed to admit it. After all, I'm older than you and have seen a lot. You don't have to be ashamed in front of a teacher. Seen your sister. Have you seen hemorrhoids on a man's butt? Besides, I don't have hemorrhoids. Teacher, I really don't have hemorrhoids. Li Fan wanted to explain, but Liao Wushuang stretched out a finger and pressed it on Li Fan's mouth. You don't need to say anything. Teacher understands. Teacher will not dislike you. You will always be teacher's obedient student. Obedient your head. What kind of teacher is this? Can't you let me finish my words? Student, your name is Li Fan, right? Liao Wushuang glanced at the attendance list. I see that your English is okay. If you need to improve it, you can contact me. I opened a remedial class. You should come and tutor me. I guarantee that after a month, your English will be able to improve to 130 points. That good? Li Fan was a bit surprised. This woman is too confident. Even Lin Yuhsan would not dare to say this. Of course. After all, English is my strength. At this time, Liao Wushuang's face finally showed some confidence. Today you helped me. I can give you a 50% discount for my remedial class. Li Fan wanted to cry but no tears came out. He is now extremely poor. Where would he find the money for remedial class? Let's talk about it another day, Teacher Liao. I'm leaving first, bye-bye. But Li Fan did not know that Wang Chang is hiding in the corner, secretly watching them. His eyes were red with hatred. Chapter 124. Too much. This is too much. Wang Chang sat in the KTV, angrily drinking a large mouthful of red wine. Beside him, two beauties were leaning on his embrace and acting coquettishly. Young Master Wang, don't be angry. Come, I'll accompany you to drink. The beauty on the left kept sending wine into Wang Chang's mouth, but was pushed away by Wang Chang. Scram, don't annoy me. Wang Chang kicked the woman away. The woman lowered her head, not daring to make a sound. After all, everyone here knew that Wang Chang was not to be trifled with. Not to mention kicking, sometimes these people would slap him in the face in anger, but they could only endure it. Some women could not bear to do so, but those women were destined to not earn money here. The first lesson their mother had taught them was how to endure. Only by enduring could one earn money. As Wang Chang lost his temper, a noble young master sat beside him. He was dressed in an elegant French famous brand, and his right hand was playing with a string of Vajra Bodhi. Wang Chang, why are you in such a bad mood today? It's rare for me to bring you to a good place. The noble young master asked as he hugged a beautiful girl and enjoyed her kiss. This is too much of a bully, really. Wang Chang complained, young Master Yang, you don't know. I'm being bullied to the point that I can't stay here anymore. Oh. Our young Master Wang is quite famous in a city. His family background is so strong, and he's also my friend. Who would dare to bully you? Speaking of which, it's depressing. Wang Chang said angrily, I don't know where this Li Fan came from in our school, but his martial arts are amazing. I found a few people, but they were all taken care of by him. Now, he has become my school's new little overlord. He even cares if I pick up a girl, and he even beats and kicks me whenever he wants. Don't you think he's bullying people? He's just a brute, don't worry about it. Young Master Yang laughed, let my family send 2 experts to help you deal with him, isn't that enough? Tell me, do you want one of his hands or one of his legs? Young Master Yang. This kid does have some skills. Wang Chang quickly said, last time, I hired a professional fighter, but it was useless. Hired a fighter? No, it's not elegant at all. Young Master Yang chuckled. There are 100 elegant ways to deal with such people. Is young Master Yang willing to avenge me? Wang Chang immediately became happy, if that's the case, then that's great. In a city, young Master Yang can't mess with anyone he wants. That's too much. You're making me sound like a local tyrant. As young Master Yang spoke, he poured a glass of red wine onto the chest of the girl beside him. The wine drenched her shirt and revealed her purple underwear. Under young Master Yang's signal, another girl rode on top of her and then licked the wine off her chest with her tongue. Seeing the 2 girls' wild actions, young Master Yang was very satisfied. It was as if he was watching a movie as he watched the 2 girls licking him. Tomorrow, I promise to make that Li Fan disappear from your campus. Then I thank young Master Yang in advance. Here's to you. Wang Chang raised his wine cup and sighed with emotion. After I settle this brat, I can chase after the new director of our school. This woman is really beautiful, she can be considered the most beautiful woman I've ever seen. To be able to have sex with her once, it's worth it to lose 10 years of my life. Look at you, we're all out to play, what kind of beautiful woman haven't we seen before? Young Master Yang chuckled, for example, my fiancée. Even if she's a little beautiful, so what? Which woman around me isn't beautiful? These women are spoiled. Young Master Yang. You haven't seen that woman. Really, I've played with a lot of women over the years, but this is the first time I've seen this kind of. That kind of strength, it's indescribable. You, sooner or later, you'll die on a woman. Young Master Yang mocked, alright, I guarantee that you'll get the beauty back. Then I'll borrow young Master Yang's auspicious words. Now that Wang Chang had a backer, he was overjoyed. He was just waiting for Li Fan to be killed by him. At this time, Li Fan was accompanying Lin Yuhsin to go shopping. Although it was said to be going shopping, it was actually just accompanying Lin Yuhsin to buy a cake. What does Auntie like? As her prospective son-in-law, shouldn't I give her something? Li Fan followed behind Lin Yuhsin and pretended to ask. Oh, sure. Lin Yuhsin was in the cake shop looking at the dazzling array of cakes in the cupboard. Hearing what Li Fan said, she didn't even raise her head and said, my mom likes money, so just give her money. For a moment, Li Fan didn't know how to continue the conversation. This was too direct. I know. Auntie is a bit of a gold digger. Let me correct you. That's not called a little, that's called very good. Lin Yuhsin didn't hide this point, I especially admire my mom for being such a gold digger. Especially these 2 years, she's been telling me to marry a rich tycoon every day. My ears are about to grow calluses. Ah. Then how can a poor dwarf like me enter Auntie's eyes? It's good that you know your place. Lin Yuhsin said as she took out a small notebook and recorded the new points. Because you're not confident enough, deduct 2 points. Fuck. Li Fan hurriedly said, how am I not confident enough? I wake up every morning because of my own handsomeness, okay? Excessive narcissism, deduct another 2 points. Fuck you, don't you have any bonus points? Li Fan was about to collapse. How could he continue? I can have bonus points. Lin Yuhsin chose a 6-inch big cake and took out a few brand new 100 yuan from her pocket. Let's see your performance. I suddenly feel that you're very rich. I just got my tuition fee today. Lin Yuhsin was a little proud, it's that junior high school student. His father also likes me and said that I'm very outstanding, which improved his son's results. Our family's teacher Lin's level needs no praise. Li Fan hurriedly flattered, not to mention our private second high school, in the entire city, how many have better results than you? In this joint examination, I reckon you're going to get first place again. Every time I think that such an outstanding girl is actually my girlfriend, I'm so happy that I can wake up in my sleep. Your sweet talk is not bad. I'll give you 1 point. Lin Yuhsin added another stroke in her notebook. Li Fan made a bitter face, I've talked until my mouth is dry, and only 1 point. What, you think it's too much? No, I'll continue to work hard. Li Fan hurriedly said. Well, that's right. You're becoming more and more like a boyfriend. Lin Yuhsin nodded her head in satisfaction, but your outfit is too outrageous. Let's go, we have a lot of time. I'll take you to buy clothes. Chapter 125. Don't mess around, I'm not living off a woman. Li Fan was immediately unhappy, how can I let you buy me clothes? You're my boyfriend, I have the responsibility to make you look more handsome. Lin Yuhsin said, don't worry, the employer gave me a 200 yuan bonus. This 200 yuan is originally for your image design fee. It's not much, don't be a male chauvinist. If you're a male chauvinist, I'll deduct points for you. Carrying the cake for Lin Yuhsn, Li Fan was still not comfortable, muttering, that's not comfortable either. I have hands and feet, why should I let you pay for me? See, you're a male chauvinist. Lin Yuhsn stretched out her hand and poked Li Fan's forehead, then do you have money? If you have money, spend it yourself. I'm planning to bring you back to see my mother today. Huh? Li Fan was stunned for a moment, you're not kidding, right? Aren't you looking for trouble? I've already thought about it. Lin Yuhsn said very seriously, we're being sneaky, it's not going to work sooner or later. I'll let you meet my mother, try to leave a good impression on her. Okay, I'll definitely perform well. Li Fan said, since Lin Yuhsn had already decided, he could only raise both his hands to support her. I'll definitely show my spirit and make Auntie think that I'm an excellent student. No, you can't say that you're a student. Lin Yuhsn suddenly stopped Li Fan, you have to say that you're a university student. Moreover, your family has a lot of assets. Huh? Li Fan was stunned for a moment, it was obvious that Lin Yuhsn's words had exceeded his expectations. Rich second generation. Yes, in short, that's it. Lin Yuhsn nodded, this can't be helped, you have to let your mother accept you first. But this is a lie, Li Fan felt that something was not quite right. It's just a delaying tactic. Lin Yuhsn rolled her eyes at Li Fan. Do you think I want that? The neighbors have already found out that you came to pick me up and send me home. If you don't reveal your identity, it will be difficult for us to be together again. This is how difficult it is to move from the underground to the surface. Li Fan sighed deeply. But I don't want to lie. What should I do, did you forget? Don't you have a billiard hall? Lin Yuhsn had already made up her mind, so she immediately said, just say that you have a family business. The business brand is the sports category. Damn, this is the first time I've seen you talk nonsense like this. Li Fan almost knelt down. It can't be helped. If you help me this time, I'll give you 10 points. What do you think? Lin Yuhsn began to tempt Li Fan. Okay. But I'll pay for the clothes myself. Recently, the billiard hall had some income. The billiard league was doing well, and the business was booming. He took out 500 yuan from his pocket. This was what he took from the billiard hall, and he planned to use it as a month's allowance. Okay, you can pay for it yourself. Let's go, I'll bring you to buy some nice clothes. With that, Lin Yuhsn grabbed Li Fan's sleeve and led him out of the cake shop. Li Fan originally thought that she was going to bring him to some fancy place, but he didn't expect that she would bring him to a night market and start shopping. The night market was very lively. Every night, there were many vendors who came out to set up their stalls. They were all selling cheap goods. Buy here? Nonsense, what else can I buy with such a small amount of money? Lin Yuhsn said matter-of-factly, we still have to live, okay? If we don't save up, we'll starve. Thinking of her father, who was still spending money like water in the hospital, and thinking of his own poor life, Li Fan didn't say anything. Boss, how much is this coat? Lin Yuhsn's eyes lit up when she saw a dark brown coat in a stall. 600, no bargaining. The boss said casually as he picked at his toes. Boss, your coat is not authentic, and you're selling it for 600? Are you kidding me? Lin Yuhsn couldn't help but roll her eyes. Little girl, don't talk nonsense if you don't know. This is a brand, do you know Armani? Fuck. Li Fan couldn't help but complain. I've only heard of Armani. This is the first time I've heard of Armani. Young man, what are you yelling about? This is a brother brand of Armani. The boss continued to pick at his toes and said casually, it's very popular in France. Boss, you're selling an imitation at such a high price. Will anyone buy it? Lin Yuhsan raised a finger. 100. I'll take it away immediately. Stop it, little girl. The boss pursed his lips. 100. This coat is made of good material. I can't even get the goods, okay? Including the shirt and trousers, it's 250. I can't go any higher. Lin Yuhsan didn't care about what the boss said. She pointed at the two coats and said in one go. Little girl, you can't get down. Oh, forget it. Li Fan, let's go. Lin Yuhsan pulled Li Fan and turned to leave. Little girl, don't go. We can negotiate. 220. Lin Yuhsan turned around and raised two fingers. Fuck, why is it getting lower? Little girl, you're too ruthless. Li Fan, let's go. Fine, fine, fine. 220 for you. Li Fan was stunned. Fuck, she really cut it off. The boss said to him as he took the coat, young man, your girlfriend is amazing, yeah. I don't even dare to speak loudly. Li Fan laughed dryly as Lin Yuhsan pinched him. The coat is almost done. I'll help you choose a pair of shoes. Lin Yuhsan spent another 200 to help Li Fan choose a good pair of shoes. This set of shoes cost a total of 420. After Li Fan changed into the shoes, Lin Yuhsan wrapped the uniform around him. The coat can be a little worse, but the leather shoes must be of high quality. My mom has a sharp eye. She can tell at a glance if you're wearing a bad quality shoe. Listening to Lin Yuhsan's words, Li Fan muttered in his heart. 200 yuan shoes are of high quality. But Lin Yuhsan's mother probably didn't see anything good, so it should be easy to deal with. What are you doing? Helping you with your hair. Lin Yuhsan said as she took out a comb and scissors from her bag. Fuck. Are you going to cut my hair yourself? Of course. Won't it look like a dog gnawing on it? Fuck you. My skills are quite good. I usually cut my hair at home and save a lot of money. Be honest and don't move your head around. Be careful or it will really look like a dog gnawing on it. In the corner of the night market, Lin Yuhsan faced the streetlight and cut Li Fan's hair. 10 minutes later, Lin Yuhsan finally put away the scissors. It's done. Lin Yuhsan put down the scissors, patted Li Fan's hair, and then tore off his uniform. Two girls with heavy makeup passed by, and one of them with big breasts winked at Li Fan. Do you want to play, handsome? Chapter 126. What nonsense are you flirting with? He's mine. Lin Yuhsan immediately glared at them fiercely like a mother hen protecting her chick. So stingy. What a pity for a handsome young man. The two women rolled their eyes and turned to leave. Randomly flirting with other women, deduct 2 points. Lin Yuhsan was jealous and was about to deduct points for Li Fan, but Li Fan hurriedly pulled her back. What the fuck, my Miss Lin, I didn't do anything. Li Fan shouted that he was wronged. This had nothing to do with him. Humph. I'll let you off this time. Lin Yuhsan reminded Li Fan, in the future, if you meet this kind of shady woman, you must reject them righteously, understand? Don't hesitate, don't delay. Yes, I understand. Li Fan was helpless, women are unreasonable. Then perform well, if you perform well tonight, you will get a lot of points. Don't you think your words are particularly ambiguous? Go to hell, if you talk nonsense again, I'll deduct points. I was wrong. Li Fan bowed his head and admitted his mistake. AI, it really feels like someone is pinching his soft spot. This wretched little book, this wretched point system. Really too hateful. Now like this, at least you pass. Lin Yuhsan circled around Li Fan twice, and then nodded with satisfaction. You can be considered to be a dog. Damn, you're a good student, why are your words so harsh? Li Fan was depressed to death. How can there be such a bad boyfriend? I look so spirited, how can you say that I'm a dog? After dressing up, Li Fan is indeed spirited, somewhat has the demeanor of a rich family's disciple. Moreover, Lin Yuhsin's skills were not bad. She combed Li Fan's hair neatly and energetically. It was the complete opposite of his messy hair from before. I came to visit like this. Are you sure it's a surprise for Auntie's birthday and not a shock? Li Fan couldn't help but ask. You're such a busybody. Lin Yuhsin couldn't help but roll her eyes. I told you, as long as you say you're, a rich second generation, my mom will definitely welcome you. Forget it, how can there be such a mother? Li Fan didn't quite believe it, but half an hour later, he did. Come in, come in. The room is small, sorry for the inconvenience. When they arrived at the tube-shaped apartment, Yuan Chunli enthusiastically invited Li Fan inside. Not knowing what Lin Yuhsin told Yuan Chunli in advance, now Yuan Chunli looked at Li Fan's eyes as if she couldn't wait to eat him. She invited Li Fan into the house. What was different from before was that this small house was especially clean today, and it was almost spotless. Li Fan felt as if he was the VIP of this family. Yuan Chunli's enthusiasm made him slightly unable to bear. Auntie, I'm really sorry. I came in a hurry and didn't prepare any gift for you. Li Fan respectfully greeted Yuan Chunli according to the script he had written in advance. How could I? I'm already very happy that you can come. Yuan Chunli smilingly looked at Li Fan, but why do I think you look a little familiar? Ah, because he appeared on TV several times. You may have seen him on TV. Lin Yuhsin quickly explained. So that's how it is. It seems that your family's sports brand is doing well, right? Auntie has seen the results. They are all small brands, incomparable to Nike, Adidas, and so on. Li Fan had already deviated from the script and began to talk nonsense. Nowadays it's very difficult to make a domestic brand. My father wants me to study management, and after a few years, I'll go abroad to further my studies and see how foreigners do brands. Lin Yuhsin repeatedly glared at Li Fan from behind, meaning not to talk too much. The more he talked, the easier it was to be exposed. Mom, don't ask too much. He doesn't like people asking about these things. Lin Yuhsin could only control her mother's side. Yuan Chunli quickly nodded. I'm old, and my mouth is too loose. Okay, I won't say any more. By the way, Xiao Fan, how did you meet our family's moon immortal? Mom. Lin Yuhsin was about to collapse. How could she ignore her own mother's gossipy heart? He tutored my brother, and that's how we got to know each other. Li Fan suddenly said with some sadness, but Moon Immortal and I started off as friends, and I hope to have my own business one day. My family is very strict with me, and they want me to marry a girl of equal status after I graduate from university. Auntie, you tell me, isn't that old-fashioned? Yes. Old-fashioned. Yuan Chunli fiercely nodded and said, what era is this, how can they be so old-fashioned? Don't worry, Auntie is very open-minded. As long as you two are good friends, Auntie will not object. Yuan Chunli couldn't be happier. Her biggest wish in this life was for her daughter to marry into a rich family. She could bear hardships, and she could be tired, but her daughter must live a good life. Thank you, Auntie, I will definitely take good care of Moon Immortal. Li Fan said very sincerely, but for the time being, I still want to focus on my own business. I'm currently independent from my family, and I have to rely on myself for everything. Recently, the sports industry that I've invested in has some small success. Next year, I plan to expand the scale and open 2 more branches. To have such achievements at such a young age, you're really young and promising. Yuan Chunli asked again, Xiao Fan, where is your shop? Lin Yuhsin was a little nervous. She felt that she had miscalculated one thing, and that was miscalculating a mother's curiosity. This question, they didn't go through the booklet beforehand. Could it be that Li Fan had leaked it? Currently, it's still a small shop, at Linjiang Road. Li Fan's answer was very neat. Because Linjiang Road sold sports equipment, there were many shops. Then how much can you earn in a month? Yuan Chunli casually asked as she poured tea for Li Fan. This question. She actually came. Li Fan and Lin Yuhsan had indeed considered whether Yuan Chunli would ask this question. But they didn't expect her to be so direct. Just like how Lin Yuhsan commented on her own mother, this middle-aged woman was indeed a bit materialistic. The pressure of life had forcefully changed Yuan Chunli's worldview. About 100,000 a month. Li Fan didn't dare to say too much, but he didn't dare to say too little either. This was 10 times the monthly income of the billiard hall when it was at its peak. It's just a little bit of money. I'm sorry to make you laugh at me, no, it's already a lot. Yuan Chunli thought to herself, this young man is really humble. Auntie, I don't know what to give you for your birthday. Li Fan was still addicted to acting and casually said, I'm preparing to send you on a trip. Singapore, Malaysia, Thailand, you can choose. Lin Yuhsan's eyes widened. Chapter 127. Aya, how can I accept this? Yuan Chunli's eyes were smiling, how can I accept your things? It's your birthday, you're the boss. Li Fan laughed, tell me, where to go, or we can all go, I'll pay for all the expenses. You see, it's not easy for you to be exposed to the sun and wind every day, it's time for you to relax. Alright then, I won't be unreasonable then. Li Fan did not expect Yuan Chunli to really agree. Xiao Fan, give me a date, I'll just rest for 2 days, but not too long, just a week will do. If it's too long, the family's business will be neglected. Li Fan was dumbfounded, what the heck, she really agreed. What to do now, to go to Singapore, Malaysia, Thailand, how much money would that cost? No. I have to think of a way to smooth things over. Auntie, if Singapore, Malaysia, Thailand is too far, we can change to a closer place. Beijing or Shanghai is fine too. No problem, it's not too far. Yuan Chunli said with a smile, I'll let old Li next door look after the stall for 2 days, we'll split the earnings, he's more than happy to do so. As long as Auntie is happy, Li Fan was about to break down, Lin Yuhsan kept rolling her eyes, and Yuan Chunli had already started to ponder. Aya, is it hot in Singapore, Malaysia, Thailand, what should I wear? Looking at Lin Yuhsan's eyes, it was obvious that she was saying, let's see how you clean up this mess. Clean up my ass, tears are already flowing all over the floor. But now he could only swallow the bitterness, Li Fan still had to act out the script. Xiao Fan, drink some wine. Yuan Chunli specially bought a small dining table, and placed the dishes she made herself on it. She also took out a bottle of wine from the cabinet, looking at it, Lin Yuhsan was a little surprised. This was a bottle of Maotai left by his father, his mother could not bear to drink it. She actually took it out today, it was too unbelievable. Auntie, I'm not good at drinking, what a good boy. Auntie likes people who don't drink. However, today is a special day. Let's drink 2 cups. Auntie will drink with you. As Yuan Chunli spoke, she even personally poured wine for Li Fan. Li Fan was so frightened that he hurriedly took the wine bottle and filled it up for himself before filling it up for Yuan Chunli. He was so nervous that he ignored the look that Lin Yuhsan was giving him. Yuan Chunli also seemed to be very happy. She exchanged toasts with Li Fan and drank several cups in a short while. This kind of Maotai wine, which had been stored for a long time, was very strong. Even if Li Fan had practiced martial arts, he couldn't help but feel a little drunk at this time. The wine rushed to the top of his head. Xiao Fan, come. Let's drink this cup. Yuan Chunli raised her wine glass and clinked it with Li Fan's. When I'm at Auntie's house, it's like I'm at home. I like rich young men like you. I'm happy that you and the Moon Immortal are together. Auntie. Don't worry. I'll definitely treat the moon immortal well in the future. Li Fan also drank too much. His words began to be out of tune. I promise to serve her like how I serve Mom, serve your sister. You drank too much. You're not allowed to drink anymore. Lin Yuhsen pulled Li Fan's hand. What are you doing? Yuan Chunli was the first to panic. She glared at her daughter. How can you talk to your future husband like that? When adults drink, don't interrupt. Go do your homework. Lin Yuhsan almost cried. Why should I do my homework? The two of you are going to heaven. Brother. Sister is telling you. Women you can't just dote on them. You have to manage them. Big sister, whatever you say is true. I'll go first. Li Fan drank another big mouthful. The alcohol rushed to his head like a tide. Brother. Sister is telling you. Our family's moon immortal is suffering. Yuan Chunli started to cry as she spoke. Her nose was dripping with tears and snot. Not long after she was born. Her father got schizophrenia. Now he's still in the hospital. He's a bottomless pit. Both of us have had enough of this kind of bitter life, big sister. You, don't worry. In the future, I'll take care of her. Li Fan's words almost made Lin Yuhsen cry. It's already hard enough. This fellow is still trying to provoke me. Really, why did the two of them have to drink for no reason? They don't even have a high tolerance for alcohol. They're already this drunk. Finally, looking at the two of them collapsed on the table, Lin Yuhsen wiped the tears from the corner of her eyes. She helped Yuan Chunli to the bed before walking over and pushing Li Fan. Big sister. Don't mess around, Li Fan mumbled. Go to hell. Who's your big sister? Lin Yuhsen rolled her eyes at Li Fan. Not big sister. Isn't this my wife? Li Fan chuckled and pulled Lin Yuhsen into his arms. Come, let hubby kiss you. With that, he really kissed Lin Yuhsen's little mouth. Lin Yuhsen was stunned. She instinctively wanted to push Li Fan away, but Murong Ying's words suddenly floated in her mind. Have you ever kissed before? Humph, why haven't I kissed before? Didn't I kiss her during CPR? Lin Yuhsen thought of this and accepted Li Fan's kiss in a fit of pique. Li Fan's lips were soft. But it would be better if they didn't smell like alcohol. Just as Lin Yuhsen was about to carefully savor this first kiss, Li Fan's hands suddenly moved behind Lin Yuhsen. Lin Yuhsen was so shocked that she trembled and directly bit Li Fan's lips. Li Fan woke up with a start. The bite was quite painful and his lips were bleeding. Wife, are you a dog? Who's your wife? Wake up. Li Fan blinked his eyes and saw that the person sitting in front of him was none other than his little enemy, Lin Yuhsen. Damn. Why is it you, you bastard? You want to deny it after kissing me? Lin Yuhsen's eyes immediately turned red. Li Fan hurriedly raised his hands to surrender. Ancestor, I drank too much. Don't cry, I'll make amends. This is my first kiss. How are you going to compensate me? Big deal, I'll devote my life to you. Li Fan's self-sacrificing look made Lin Yuhsen angry. It's as if you've suffered a big loss. Shameless. Yes. It's all my fault. Eldest miss, please don't be angry. Li Fan felt bitter in his heart. This matter was caused by him. He was drunk and had forgotten what it felt like to kiss her. It was a wasted kiss. Humph, let's not talk about this first. Think about how you're going to send my mother to Singapore, Malaysia and Thailand. Lin Yuhsen rolled her eyes. Someone said that he'll cover all the expenses. Since he said it, I'll do it. Li Fan also became determined. At most, young master will sell his kidney. Chapter 128. Li Fan's words were quite righteous, but selling his kidney. How is that possible? I am still a virgin. If I sell my kidney, wouldn't it be ruined? I am not an apple boy, there is no need for me to give up my lower half of my body. Therefore, when he appeared on the gambling boat, Su Chen was about to cry. My lord, why are you here again? Boss Su. I want to join an underground boxing match. Li Fan said with some embarrassment. My lord, you are my lord. Su Chen collapsed on the spot, the cigar in his hand fell to his feet. If you join an underground boxing match again, I can directly close this place. But I need a sum of money. Li Fan said very frankly, I thought about it, it seems that I can only rely on underground boxing matches to earn some quick money. Ancestor. You are asking for my life. My life is not easy right now, how much money do you need? Not much, just 50,000 to 80,000. Li Fan looked on the internet, the most luxurious tour in Singapore, Malaysia and Thailand is about this price. When the time comes, he will directly spend money to book a group and let Yuan Chunli have a good time. A penny stumps a hero. You have to understand me, Boss Su. I understand your sister. Why don't you understand me? Su Chen cursed in his heart, why didn't you think about this when you burned that 80,000? Brotherly, about the 50,000 to 80,000, you can just say it. Yu Feng, go get the money for my brother. Su Chen ordered, but Li Fan stopped Yu Feng. No, Boss Su, I can't take your money for free. Brother. I know you want to be strong, but you also have to think for your brother. Su Chen suddenly rolled his eyes, why don't you see me come up with a way to neutralize it? What way? Although I can't help you, I know a god of fortune who can definitely help you. What kind of help? 2 days and 2 nights as a bodyguard. Su Chen raised 3 fingers. The total remuneration is 60,000 yuan, according to the price given by the stunt bodyguard. If you agree, I won't look for anyone else. I'll leave this matter to you. How about it? 2 days and 2 nights. Which days? Usually, it wouldn't work. Li Fan had to attend classes. We leave on Friday night and return on Monday morning. Su Chen looked at the timetable in Yu Feng's hand. Is it okay? No problem. Li Fan was still a little excited, I earned 60,000 in 2 days. Help me find more work. Io, it's all thanks to you. How could there be such a good thing in the past? Su Chen quickly said, brother, since you have agreed, please sign this contract. He took a contract from Yu Feng and handed it to Li Fan. Thank you, Boss Su. Li Fan was still a little drunk. He didn't read the contract carefully and happily signed it. Then Friday night at 7 p.m., I'll go to the billiard hall to pick you up. Su Chen smiled and carefully kept the contract, brother, don't be late and don't regret it. Otherwise, you'll have to pay double the penalty. I won't. I really need this job. Li Fan said, only a fool would not be willing. Then see you at that time. Oh right, brother, do you want to play on my boat? I have a new girl here. Guaranteed to be fun. I don't want it. Hee hee. Li Fan thought to himself, why is Su Chen the same as Lei Zi, always wanting to find me for a prostitute? I'm a righteous and friendly young man. How could I do that kind of thing? Li Fan didn't dare to stay on this gambling boat for long. He went back home to sleep that night. Muroming said, stay away from trouble. The next few days were calm. Lin Yuhsn told Li Fan that ever since he agreed to this matter, Yuan Chunli has been thinking about what to wear to Singapore, Malaysia and Thailand almost every day. Singapore, Malaysia and Thailand are very hot. You can even go bare-chested. Li Fan said. Screw you. Lin Yuhsn gave Li Fan a hard look, you're the same as that hooligan behind, not serious at all. At this time, Lin Yuhsn stood at the entrance of Li Fan's billiard hall and said, pointing inside. Big sister, what do you mean by that? Hearing this, Huang Lei immediately couldn't sit still. He patted his chest and said, I, Huang Lei, am the most serious person. When I was a child, I always got full marks in moral lessons. I almost joined the party. Come on. You want to join the party? What party? Pornographic party. Li Fan couldn't help but ridicule. Huang Lei felt very wronged. Big brother, how can you not trust me? My heart hurts. Pain my ass. Li Fan pointed at Huang Lei. Lin Yuhsn, how are we alike? Moral is bullshit, but I was a good student in primary school. You get lost too. None of you are good. Lin Yuhsn curled her lips. It's better to believe in ghosts than to believe in you. Let's see what you'll do if you can't do it. You only have 7 points now. If my mom hates you, deduct all of them. That's not right. Li Fan immediately said, didn't you say that you would get 10 points for accompanying your mom? You're already drunk. It's good enough that you're not deducted points. You're not allowed to drink with my mom in the future. Lin Yuhsn looked at her watch. It's time for supplementary lessons. I'm not going to chat with you anymore. Are you really not going to send me off today? I have something important to do today. Li Fan became serious. I won't accompany you. Don't miss me too much. Only a ghost would miss you, narcissist. Lin Yuhsn rode on her bicycle. I'm annoyed when I see you. It's better if we never meet again. Bastard. With that, she rode away. Li Fan looked at her back view and admired her long legs. Sigh, what a rare view. Big brother, this girl's legs are really long. Huang Lei walked to Li Fan's side and muttered. Fuck off, what nonsense are you thinking about all day long? You're too dirty. Li Fan fiercely stared at Huang Lei. Why can't you learn from me? You must have a pure heart, understand? Then big brother, what are you looking at? And drooling. What nonsense are you talking about? I'm fucking looking at the board. Oh. This board's legs are so long. Get lost. Li Fan kicked Huang Lei back to the billiard hall. This guy is too frivolous. He should really learn from me. What is called a clear mind? He looked down at his watch. It's almost time. Su Chen should be here by now, right? As the saying goes, don't talk about people in the day and don't talk about ghosts at night. Just as Li Fan was thinking about Su Chen, a black Mercedes-Benz slowly stopped in front of the billiard hall. Mr. Li, please get in. Yu Feng opened the door and respectfully invited Li Fan to get in. Okay. Li Fan instructed Huang Lei to take good care of the shop and not neglect his martial arts before getting in the Mercedes-Benz. Yu Feng sat inside and handed a black suit to Li Fan. Mr. Li, please change into this suit. Chapter 129. This guy is quite formal. Li Fan took the suit and looked at it. The grade of the suit was quite high. It seemed to be some brand, but he did not know much about it. But he found out that Lin Yuhsn was quite proficient in brands, even though she never wore those branded clothes. From this moment on, Mr. Li will have to fulfill the contract. Looking at Li Fan changing into the black suit, Yu Feng became more serious, as if the whole world owed him money. Mr. Li must stay by the employer's side for a full 48 hours without rest, to protect the employer's safety. Other than the bodyguards, no one is allowed to get within 2 meters of the employer. Once someone gets close, he must be subdued. At the critical moment, he must have the awareness to block bullets for the employer. Damn, is this protecting the president of the country? Why is there such a big show? Li Fan could not help but ask. Mr. Li, this 60,000 yuan is not as easy to earn as you think. When Yu Feng said this, he was somewhat jealous. No matter what, he was an expert in all kinds of things, a well-known international bodyguard. But he was not qualified to take on this task. His monthly salary was only 30,000 yuan. Perhaps the only advantage was that it was not that dangerous to follow by Boss Su's side. Alright, since I have accepted this task, I will definitely do it well. Li Fan nodded, leave it to me. He had already changed into the black suit, with a black shirt inside. Li Fan felt that he was not like a bodyguard, but more like a gangster in Japan or Korea. This is the intercom device. Yu Feng handed a walkie-talkie and headset to Li Fan. The channel has been adjusted, don't mess with it. Got it. Everything was so formal. With Yu Feng's help, Li Fan finally hung up the walkie-talkie and put on the headset. He looked at his own reflection on the phone. He really looked like a bodyguard now. Remember, you must put the employer first. The employer's life is the most important. Yu Feng warned him again and again, if the employer is injured or, unfortunately passes away, then not only will you have to pay double the liquidated damages, but you are also likely to offend all the big shots in City A. From then on, you won't be able to live in City A anymore. How serious? Li Fan's heart began to beat like a drum. Who were they protecting? It was like a war. Yu Feng continued to teach him some bodyguard experience. The car had unknowingly left the city and soon arrived at the suburban airport. Li Fan had never been on a plane. He had only seen it on TV. The airport was very big, and all the passengers entered from the terminal hall. Their car drove directly into a VIP entrance on the side and soon entered a large parking apron. There were scattered small planes in the airport. Although Li Fan had never eaten pork, he had seen pigs run. These small planes in the airport should be private planes. Ordinary people wouldn't even be able to think about it. Didn't Zhao Benshan buy a private jet in the past? It attracted a group of people who hated the rich. Without a certain amount of financial resources, who could afford this thing? After all, you not only bought a plane, but also a series of expenses such as maintenance fees, downtime fees, and the wages of the captain and stewardess. He didn't know if Murong Ying's family had a private plane. The Murong Consortium was a big business, so it should have a private plane. The black Mercedes-Benz stopped next to the small plane. Yu Feng opened the door and let Li Fan get out. Is everyone here? There were already 5 tall bodyguards standing in front of him. Each of them looked like a weapon in the world. Li Fan had the feeling that he was on the basketball team, because these guys were almost 2 meters tall, and their bodies were full of muscles, with a murderous aura around them. One of the bald men glanced at Li Fan through his sunglasses and said coldly, "Is this the person recommended by Mr. Su?" The other bodyguards obviously sneered. No wonder they looked down on Li Fan. After all, compared to them, Li Fan was like a dwarf. His figure was thin and weak, and he looked extremely weak. This is the master invited by Mr. Su. Please work together as a bodyguard. Several bodyguards in front of him were international bodyguards. Yu Feng did not dare to act rashly in front of them. He said respectfully, "The safety of the employer is in your hands. Don't worry, I, Qi Zeping, have been a bodyguard for 20 years, and I have never failed." The bald man spoke with a strong sense of pride. Li Fan could see that this man definitely had some skills, otherwise Yu Feng would not be so polite to him. Qi Zeping, an internationally famous bodyguard, known as the Safe. Li Fan used his mobile phone to check the information of this man and found that he could really find it. Top 10 international bodyguards, belonging to the largest security umbrella company. Umbrella company? Li Fan was about to check again when Qi Zeping suddenly shouted. "What are you doing?" "Checking information, what's wrong?" Li Fan was somewhat puzzled. Qi Zeping angrily said, "The bodyguard's duty is to protect the employer. How can you play with your mobile phone during working hours? Are you a professional or not? The employer hasn't come yet, okay?" Li Fan felt that this man might be a little crazy. Who are you protecting now? Presumptuous. I am your captain. You must listen to my orders. Qi Zeping said bluntly, "If you disobey my orders, get out of the team." Mr. Lee. From now on, don't play with your mobile phone. Yufeng was about to cry in his heart. Sure enough, he was an ancestor. Boss Su arranged him to be in this team. What was his intention? First of all, I am not playing. I am checking information. Li Fan's face sank. Second, my job is only to protect the employer's safety. I don't need to listen to anyone's command, including the employer. Yufeng's heart was broken. Sure enough. With Uncle Li's temper, no one can provoke him. What a joke. Qi Zeping looked at Li Fan disdainfully. Which one of us here isn't an international elite? Is there any place for you to be rash? At such a young age, your tone is so arrogant. I think you lack a lesson. Come on, teach me a lesson. Li Fan beckoned him with his finger. He didn't believe this. He was here to protect the employer, not to be a lackey. Why should he be ordered around by this guy? If his tone was a little more polite, Li Fan wouldn't have quarreled with him. What he couldn't stand was this person's arrogant tone. Who gave him the right? Someone is really looking for a beating. A tanned bodyguard beside Qi Zeping rubbed his knuckles, making cracking sounds. I'll teach you the rules. You're tuning in to the Blissful Bookshelf YouTube channel. We're so grateful for your support, and don't forget to subscribe to join us on this incredible journey through captivating stories. Your generosity through donations truly makes a world of difference, as it's the primary source of revenue that allows me to expand and enhance this channel for you. Thank you from the bottom of my heart for being a part of this adventure.